Hey guys, welcome back to South Texas Football Unlimited, presented by Dawson's Recycling and Williford Chevrolet. It's playoff time, right? So we decided we'd do something a little special, and we're back in beautiful Williford Chevrolet off freshly paved Highway 181 in Portland, Texas. It looks great, guys. If you haven't been out here, 181 looks wonderful.
Finally.
So we decided.
Hang on, did you notice that Brian brought up the
He brought out the big guns. I saw it. If you guys can see that, yeah, we've got the nice
It's rapid blue.
backdrop.
Love
That
that
we've
color,
got
man.
back here. Finally, I mentioned that I was going to say that earlier, and Brian hadn't come in yet, and I was kind of helping Blake up with the technical difficulties, so I hadn't had a chance to.
Yep.
Yeah, but we do like it that it's
Rapid
finally.
blue C8.
I can't fit in there, but it looks nice.
It's got more room than you think.
Oh, guys, well,
Trying to
welcome
sell
back.
me on it.
We appreciate you guys tuning in. We wanted to do something special for the playoffs this year. We always had a normal playoff show, just our normal show, but we decided we liked doing the live show so much in person and having the actual human interaction that we wanted to bring it back in the dealership. Brian was more than gracious enough to let us in here, so thank you, Brian, for coming
Yes, sir.
back in here and disrupting your showroom.
Man,
for
you're
a
not. It's
few
gold
hours.
ball season, man. I'm fired up. I'm excited.
It is definitely gold ball season. And, you know, we say this every year. Blake and I were talking about this, and Zach and I were talking about this earlier. The season just blows by so fast.
Yep.
You know,
It's crazy.
it seems like it just starts every year. We go through this every year, right? It seems like it just starts and it ends just as fast as it started.
And I always tell my family, Jacob, they always laugh at me, I'm sure, but I'm like, depression after week 5. They're like, why? Because we're on the downhill slope and the speed intensifies.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
bam, the season's done.
Yeah, we got 6 weeks left.
That's it. It's crazy.
So before we jump into the playoff talk, we want to talk about a couple of games that happened in week 11. The biggest one, which I think came to a shock to all of us, was Flower Bluff, Corpus Christi fans.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so
I'll let y'all take
we
the lead.
talk about shock on that one, right? And if you go back to the show, I said I felt like Vets Memorial would give Flower Bluff a pretty good run for their money in that
Did.
game, just because, just based off of years past, a little bit of the rivalry there, the Yorktown rivalry and whatnot, and I was really thinking about it after Vets won that game, and you know, I think a part of me really wanted to side with Vets going into that game. And I kind of just leaned on Flower Bluff because, you know, Pelucio and just the career he's had at Flower Bluff. And then it seems like the Flower Bluff coaching staff is probably one of the better coaching staffs in the area. And I felt like that would prevail them to that win. But, you know, I had a kind of a gut feeling that I thought Vets could take that game. I didn't man up and take them, obviously, but I felt like they would play him tough. And I was able to catch the last part of that game, and man, it was awesome for those Vets kids, right, to pull that off. It's crazy how Flower Bluff went from number 8 in the state to seed in third and getting a co-district championship with PSJA North and Veterans Memorial in itself. But yeah, that was I think probably a shocker throughout the state for people that aren't as tapped in as us. And then of course, I think if you're Flower Bluff, that has to be a shell shock move right there to go the whole season that you did. And you know, I think a lot of the backlash I saw on the just the aftermath of that game was there was a lot of people talking about, you know, hey, if you could have scheduled a little tougher your first 2, and we talked about Bluff having really only 2 games that they could schedule before they got into that gauntlet of a district that they're in, and we've talked about before, you know, that's one of the downsides of being in that district outside of PSJ North. There's not a whole lot of competition, you know, unfortunately, to push them and to make them kind of get that I guess, battle test feel and have to overcome some adversity. So, you know, they survived the week prior to PSJ North in overtime.
28-27.
And they just couldn't do it. And there was a really good video of the interception from the back of the end zone. And, you know, Pelucio had his man. He just never saw that linebacker sitting underneath. And, you know, I can't think of the kid's name right off the top. Okay, Zach Smith. The fun fact of that one is me and Jacob, you know, just through passing of doing these games, a lot of Vets games and CCISD stuff, you know, his mom takes photographs at every Vets game we're at. She's been doing it the last couple of years, you know, and I kind of put 2 and 2 together. I saw her get tagged in that post of his interception, and, you know, I can't imagine what she was thinking at that moment for her. You know, that's your kid making probably a once in a lifetime play for some guys.
Season
changing play for both sides. So yeah, that was neat. Pretty interesting.
Interesting piece about that as well. So one of the things that we talk about with vets is we love their pregame tradition of walking out with a veteran.
Yeah.
She was a veteran.
Yeah, that's cool.
Was she really?
Yep.
Oh wow.
Super cool.
What a way to cap that. I think he's a senior as well.
Yep.
So what a way to cap that final ending for his senior season as a Vets Eagle. Of course, they got playoffs now and whatnot, but there's always something about regular season in district that's got a little meaning to it as well. Because playoffs are here today, gone tomorrow,
Absolutely.
right? So
Well, that's something what you said too, Justin. The old saying is it's not how you've played, but how you're playing. And it looks like the season trajectory of Vets has been tailing up.
yeah,
And I really, really thought you take that in tailing up with that emotional high and exhausting win of the week before from Flower Bluff. I just really thought Vets would really give them a game, and Vets is really playing well. And I think going into the playoffs, man, they're kind of riding high, and they might do a little bit of damage and sneak up on some people. It could be a sleeper type pick possibly.
yeah.
Because they're well coached.
And I don't want to jump too far ahead of us in this outlook, but there's a lot of meaning in that game on the seeding, because if you look to see where where Flower Bluff sits now as the
Yeah.
3 seed, you draw more than likely San Antonio Piper round 2, who I think a lot of people there's some people that have pegged Piper to win state.
Yes, they have.
There's definitely a lot of people that have picked Piper to win this region, which is a tough region because you have Smithson Valley in it, you have San Antonio Piper in it, you have Corpus Christi Flower Bluff in it, who's no slouch, and then of course in that bottom half you also have PSJ North, who's pieced together a really good season. So
San
the way,
Antonio J dropped down from
San
6A.
Antonio J
who
dropped
runs
down to
the
6A.
slot T, I think, or the wing T.
yeah. So yeah, it's interesting, but that loss right there,
And Vela.
that loss right there,
And Vela.
kind of gives yourself obviously a harder route to the to be where you want to be at. And like Vets Memorial now, they're looking at Seguin or San Antonio Southwest if they survive.
Yep.
Week
Easier path
1
to the
against
regionals.
Mission. I think week 2 is a winnable game for them. So that's a difference of possibly only 2 rounds, 3 rounds for some of those seniors. So that game had a lot of implications on it that were underlined that I don't think people maybe accounted for right off the bat. And it's hard to, because you don't know where everything's going to shake out for the most part until that last week's done. But definitely that's a tough blow for Flower Bluff to have to come through
Seriously.
Piper round 2 if you get there.
And I'll say this and then we'll jump into it again later, but this is the toughest I've seen 5A Region 4 look in a long time.
Yeah,
Agreed.
Region
Agreed.
4, Region 4 and
100%.
5A last year, a couple of years, 5A D1's been some people would say cakewalk for the best team out of it. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, that's an interesting little side take right there on that region.
And then the other game was our other game of the week that we didn't make it out to. We ended up working. We had everything lined up to go to Bay City and El Campo, and that turned out to be a fantastic ball game.
Bay City and Port Lavaca.
Port Lavaca, I'm sorry. And it came down to a blocked field goal to tie it and take it into overtime. Calhoun jumped out to a 14-0 lead right off the bat, and then Bay City just kind of clawed their way back in. It was going back and forth, back and forth. We remember at work, we kept looking at the score and be like, look. And then it came down to a blocked field goal on one of the last plays of the game, so that turned out to be a good one. 2 back-to-back big games by Bay City. That's huge momentum, adversity that you're facing right before you jump into the playoffs.
It's good for you.
I think you want to hit that right before you go into it.
Absolutely.
But those were our 2 biggest games. I don't know if you guys had anything else you wanted to mention from week 11 before we jumped into the
Well,
playoffs.
you staying in that district, we also talked about it was El Campo, right? The potential matchup of the brothers with the Reed brothers. And El Campo dropped that game to Lavernia, if I'm correct, right?
In a big way.
Yes,
Yep.
they did. They got
So
beat pretty good.
dropping that game to Lavernia actually forced the matchup that we're all looking forward to see with the Battle of the Reeves. You're going to have El
We'll get into
Campo
that
and
too,
Cal
won't we?
Allen right off the bat. And I mean, that's and also not just it being the Battle of the Brothers, you're also looking at just 2 historic programs in itself, Cal Allen and El Campo.
Oh, gosh,
That's just a matchup right there for football junkies. Just name alone, right? Now you add the brothers to the mix and
their styles.
and their styles
So similar.
and the playoff, just the playoffs
Pedigree.
involved. So it's a lot of that's a big game, right? Starting out round 1, that's a big game for both sides.
Yes, it is.
Right,
Okay,
'cause
so
a couple weeks later, you got to go to Thanksgiving with either or, right?
Yeah.
So, what side do you want to be on the table, right?
Yeah.
Your mom and dad, who do you pick, right?
You're
Well,
going to see one of those split jerseys like the Kelsey mom used to wear.
Exactly. Well, Campo is known as RBU, man.
Yeah.
I've had so many stinking running backs coming out of there. It's unreal how many great running backs.
People can say what they want, but moms and dads, there's always a 51-49 split there on the kids, right? Hopefully it's for both ways. So that's going to be interesting in the Reeve family household, I think, as well.
I bet you it's pretty competitive too, that household.
Oh, I bet it is.
Because I've
Dad's
never
a coach,
met
Joe's a
Travis,
coach.
but Charlie's pretty intense.
He is
Anytime we've had him
intense.
on the show, he's very intense.
I
But
can
he's
tell
just
when
the way he
was here,
walks around, he's intense.
Yeah.
But Travis, I don't think is as intense as Charlie. But Travis has been there. He's won a state title before at
Yep.
Cuero with Jordan Whittington. So he's got the maybe the pedigree right on the state title on itself.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Charlie couldn't do it, but yeah, there's some that's going to be an interesting month for these two guys right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blake, is the chat open? I
Yes,
forgot to.
we're getting
Okay.
some great chats.
What do you got? What do you got? Feed us.
Some people are asking about where they can get these awesome hats y'all are rocking.
I thought they were going to start asking about the
I know.
Corvette.
I was about the Corvette. We got a guy
I
here. We can
gotta
throw.
get one, man. I gotta get one of them things.
Hey man, the store's open.
I don't know about that.
Shout outs to some fans here talking about Cuero being the party crasher in 4AD2, and
Yeah.
we'll get to that later on in the program.
Yeah, Cuero's piecing together.
They are.
Yeah.
They're putting it together at the right time.
So number 12,
Yeah.
receiver, he's a real
Jeeps,
deal.
man, he's a dude.
Yeah,
Dude, he is
that's
a
Coastal
dude.
Bend ties right there, Walker.
So without further ado, then I think that's all you guys had for week 11. Anything
I
else?
think
Let's
so.
jump?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's jump into the playoff talk. So we're going to start at the top. So obviously we have no 6A programs here in the greater Coastal Bend area. We could tie ourselves to the valley, but that's a little a bridge too far.
Yeah.
I think, right, for three dudes to kind of dig into that. It's
Agreed.
bad enough that we dug into everything else, right,
Yeah.
of what we've
Yeah.
got so far. So we're just going to start at 5AD1 and work our way down to 5AD2 or 2AD2. So what we're going to do is we'll look at the regions, and then we'll spend a little more time in Region 3, Region 4, being that's our region, and then who our region teams could possibly face.
And
Region three.
if you haven't tuned into these live shows, and you know Brian's got his business down here, but Brian also is very tapped into the DFW scene as he lives there. His son
Yes.
played at Prosper. He likes to wine and dine himself in Salina and sit
And sit in
Wearing
gear.
sit in gear just so that he can get bad looks the entire time. So
Sorry, honey,
He brings-
but yeah, I've worn my Sinton versus everybody shirt in the middle of Salina. You know, it's okay.
he
So
likes to feel the hate.
So we'll lean on Brian when we start talking about the DFW stuff a lot because he's very plugged in with what goes on up there. But 5AD1, I think right now at the gate, I think the favorite is Alito. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, the Bearcats. I mean, my gosh, that coach has won. Is it 12 titles now? It's insane.
it's a lot.
You know, they graduated their stud quarterback last year. That was their bell cow, and
Oh yeah.
they had missed a beat.
Hossinji, yeah, they they also have one of if you follow them closely, they have one of the top running backs in the 2026 class. He actually just reclassified the 2025 class, so that'll be interesting to see where he shakes out in the rankings there. But they've leaned on him a lot.
Oh yeah.
They're pretty battle tested, right? They lost a guy right out the gate. I think whenever they hopped up to 5AD1 this year. I think it was this year, right? Or was it last year? What year?
It's
did
this year. This is the new line.
This is
or
the
no, they jumped up last.
No, this is the
was it
realignment.
first year?
Is this year?
Realignment.
So I think when they hopped up, there was a lot of haters out there that said, "Oh, hey, you know, can Alito continue this dominant run amongst some of the bigger boys, right?" And then they took the first week loss, I think, to Geyer, and
Yeah, it's a 6A school.
and
That's a
immediately
good 6A school too.
immediately there went the okay, Alito's human. They're beatable team, right? And rightfully so. But as the season progressed, I'm gonna pull up their schedule pull the schedule real quick while
Alito?
And by the way,
yeah.
So,
I'm looking at
Denton
it
Geyer
right
had
now.
beaten Prosper
Yeah,
5 straight times before they got realigned. So they beat us in the playoffs. They knocked us out of regionals several times in a row. So
I
that's
think
a
what goes
good
unnoticed
6A
with
school.
Alito is the fact that they've never played just down. They've played up
Yeah.
in years past. They
Yeah.
played really good. They beat Frisco Lone Star, I think,
They
a
beat
year
Latin.
ago or
Yeah.
2 years ago when Lone Star was
Couple years
sitting there. And I think Lone Star at the time might have been 5AD1 already, if not 6A, and then dropped down.
They're 5A. They're
But
5A.
that was a jumping out the gate. But the big one on the ticket for them, right? That I think kind of like had everyone like, okay, this is a legit Alito team was the 42-27 thumping of Denton Ryan, which they were down in that game. They had to come back in it and show some.
They've showed
overcome some
vulnerabilities this
adversity,
year.
right?
Yeah, they had a
So
close
that was
win
the big one.
to Lancaster. 6-8 Lancaster. It was a close win, 37-27.
And they're a good team,
But
Lancaster is.
in the district, Richland took them to overtime.
Yep.
In week 9, 49-42. Alito got out of that one. They could see Richland again
Yes, they could.
if Richland can get past Denton Denton Ryan.
Denton
Yes.
Ryan. Denton Ryan.
Yeah, so that's something right there you're going to want to look at. I think in that region you're going to see Alito and Denton Ryan in a rematch. I
Yeah.
think,
I would agree.
which is going to have huge implications in the DFW. That'll probably be played at the Star or Jerry World. You know, unless Jerry World just folds, sells everything, considering how the Cowboys have done, which they should. But yeah, no, Alito looks really strong for Region 1. You drop down into Region 2, I think right off the bat, a name out of Region 2 is going to be Frisco Lone Star.
Yep.
They look pretty good, but
Yes.
you also know Richland is ranked number 9 in state in 581, so they're no slouch. Geyer's ranked, they're sitting there in 3 with that one loss to Alito. But I think in the bottom side, Frisco Lone Star would probably be the favorite. And if you're just going to go based off name, I think Highland Park.
Highland Park. You
They're
gotta look
ranked
at Highland
4.
Park, man.
Midlothian can win some games.
Midlothian can win some games.
Midlothian's always tough.
But you're looking at, in the bottom side of Region 2, probably going to be Highland Park.
Yes.
Probably going to be Highland Park and Georgetown battling out to be the representative down there. And then Frisco Lone Star is probably going to be that north side of Region 2, which it looks like maybe Midlothian. But you never,
Maybe Midlothian.
you never can count on
Frisco.
Cedar Park, and you never can count on McKinney School. McKinney North's in that region as well. But I think you're going to
Yeah.
look at Frisco
McKinney
Lone
North's-
Star and Alito more than likely for the Region 2 matchup, and I think eventually it's going to be Lone Star versus Alito to go to state on the left side of our bracket there.
Yeah. And if we jump into Region 3, head over to East Texas, and the last few years it's been dominated by the Brazos Valley.
Oh, yeah.
College Station,
And A&M
A&M
Consolidated.
Consolidated.
Yep.
Right? I mean, those are probably your two front runners
Yes.
that come
Agreed.
out of there.
100%.
And that was I think your son was at that College Station
Oh, yes.
A&M
Yeah,
Consolidated game, right?
Coach
I think we did a live show that night, didn't we?
Coach Smith is, Brandon Smith is the head coach of A&M Consolidated. He went there a couple of years back, left Prosper. He was my son's coach. And he's a head coach. Took Prosper to Region 4, or to the 4th round, 4 years in a row. And first year at Consol, takes them 4 rounds. I mean, they're trucking people. If you look at their scores this year.
So historically past, before he made that jump over there, College Station was kind of running away with that town. The Cougars had
Oh,
made
yeah.
a state run. They'd won a state title. They actually beat Alito in a state title, I think, before. They played our Wildcats back when Cal Allen made it to the state finals
Sure
against
did.
Alito. The interesting thing up top side, right, before you get into looking at, so I got A&M. I'm going to go ahead and say it right now. I got A&M Consolidated
Me too.
winning the entire region state semis on Region 3 and 4. But
I do too.
College Station and Lufkin, who Lufkin I believe is ranked number 7 right now. College Station's either 5 or 6. They're potentially going to be matching up round two. Round 2, so they're going to beat each other up a little bit. And then on the bottom side, you got, I would say Barbers Hill is usually a pretty good team to put your money on. Galveston Ball's
Galveston
decent.
Ball's a tough team, man.
They're tough, so the
They're
A&M
very
Consolidated is
physical.
going to get a battle right out the gate in round 2. But I ultimately have A&M Consolidated winning over College Station in the battle of that rematch.
I would agree.
In Region 3, and then that would drop you down into Region 4 where our boys sit, right, the Hornets. And we talked about a little bit prior, San Antonio Piper. If I were to say a team from San Antonio, it's an interesting thing this year because it's been a while since you've seen San Antonio represented in the playoffs like deeply,
Yes.
right? And there's 3 teams
Absolutely.
that I really and don't get me wrong, like I know Smithson Valley's been there, they did it. Alamo Heights in years past has too, but right now I think Alamo Heights, Smithson Valley, and San Antonio Piper are your 3 bell cows for the San Antonio area if you're going to pick the flag and run to state with it, right?
Piper's a new
They could be the
school.
bell cows out of the region.
So Piper, to me, Piper,
What, 3rd year varsity?
Second.
yeah,
Only 2nd?
I
think
have,
the first year was kind of one of those mixed schedules.
yeah.
Oh, the
I think,
outlaw,
yeah.
kind of the outlaw schedule. Yeah.
I ultimately have Piper and Smithson Valley matching up in the battle of this region.
As a rematch, that's a
As
district. That was a
a
district game.
rematch,
Yeah.
which Piper took.
Yep.
right? Smithson Valley's coming off of what, state run last year?
Yes.
They made it to state
They went to
last
state
year.
last year.
I have Piper winning this region. Tough draw for the Hornets. We talked about
Yeah,
a little
it
bit
is.
earlier in the show. They got them. They're more than likely going to see Piper round 2 unless
Round
a miracle
2,
happens. So that would potentially put you San Antonio, Piper, and A&M consolidated. If a San Antonio squad's going to make it, Piper would be one of the 3 teams I think has a good chance of making it to state. I think A&M Consolidated's got a little bit more talent. I think they got a little bit more speed, which
Definitely
is ultimately
have the
going to
speed.
push them over the edge, and that's kind of why I
And they're
narrowed
very
it down.
balanced.
They're very balanced, and that's kind of why, and coaching pedigree as well. And that's kind of why I penciled in Alito and A&M Consolidated to be your 5A D1 state championship game, and then I took Alito just based off of pedigree, and I think there's going to be a little bit more athleticism on the Alito side, and just a little more, we've been here before identity than
Yeah.
A&M Consolidated. Now, I'm not saying A&M Consolidated is going to get dominated in that game. But I took the Bearcats in that one, and that's probably an easy pick for most people to pick Alito. But
Yeah.
I think it's fair to
Till they
give
get
them that,
beat.
to give them that nod, man. It's I've only seen them lose one state championship game that they've been to, and that was against College Station.
College
So
Station, yeah.
who knows? A&M Consolidated's coming out of that Brazos Valley, right?
Hey,
so
I hope
they
so.
could do it. I'm pulling for A&M
Heck
Consolidated.
yeah, man.
I'll pull for anyone over Alito.
Me
But
too.
I think Alito's
Like
gonna. I
anybody
think
beats
Alito will
Alito.
take that that D1 5A D1 state title this year.
Hey,
If they can get
Vets
by
could see-
Richland
If they get by
Or-
Richland
or
or
Denton Ryan.
Denton Ryan.
Hey,
Yep.
Vets could see Piper in round 3.
And that's what I was about to say. So you've got, Flower Bluff is probably going to run into Piper at second round. Vets,
Got a decent
they've got a pretty. Sorry, Ernie. They've got a pretty easy path to round 3.
They do.
To where they could potentially run into that Piper.
Especially
team.
the way they're playing.
Yep.
100% agree.
Yep. So, and then North PSJ North is going to probably run into San Antonio J in that second half, and that's going to be an interesting game because
That would
those are
be a
two
very
run
interesting game.
heavy offenses.
Yes.
Yep.
So
It'll be
that's
a fast game.
or a fast game, right? So that's going to be a good one to watch there in round 2 if Jay can get past New Braunfels.
Any chatter about 5A D1, Blake, from the people in the audience?
We're getting some people that just said that Geyer was 6A. We actually mentioned Denton Geyer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's who Alito lost
Alito
to.
played,
Denton
lost
Geyer.
to them first round.
We
First
got a
game.
shout out here that Sinton alum head coach Jason Britton in Angleton might be a dark horse coming out of Region 3.
That's
Interesting.
Angleton's got pedigree. They've
I didn't
made,
know
they
Jason
made
was
good
there.
runs before.
Little coastal bend connection there.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Angleton's made
Angleton.
runs before
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
years past.
They're
right?
not a name that no one knows about. Yeah.
Now, if I were to give you a dark horse out of that region, I think I would probably lay money on Barbers Hill. Barbers Hill and we're not even talking really about Lufkin, and Lufkin's got a lot of history involved in their program as well. It's
It's
just
an
a
old
tough draw of
program,
College
too.
Station right off the bat.
Yeah.
Now, if Lufkin upsets College Station round 2,
Look out.
then look out
Yeah.
because there's a very good chance they could take that region, right? So you're looking potentially at the what could be the region final in round 2 right out the gate in College Station and Lufkin.
And if you're Region 4, I would think you'd want these guys up in Region 3 to beat themselves up as much as they can.
Absolutely.
You want as much black and blue ball going on.
Yeah.
The only loss, interesting side note, the only loss Lufkin had all year was to Longview, 7-3,
Oh, what week was that?
Wow.
week 1.
Oh, early.
And that's one of the biggest.
That's a huge historical.
That's
game.
one of the
Wow.
That's one of the biggest rivalries in the state of Texas.
Isn't it one of the oldest?
It's one of the oldest. Now, put on the note too, Lufkin beat Galveston Ball 35-21, and they also beat Barbers Hill 32-14 earlier in the year. I don't know who won the Houston Milby game, but that was, or maybe that's this week. But
you know what?
Heath Lufkin Houston movie this weekend.
yeah, that's
first
this
round.
week.
I haven't really heard a lot about Lufkin, so that's interesting that I'm glad you brought that up.
That may be a good thing from their parts, right? Just
Yeah.
kind of sneaking
Stay
up
under the radar.
on these guys in the first,
Yeah,
second
officially
round.
the dark horse.
Yeah. Fly under the radar.
All right, if you guys don't got anything else, let's jump into 5AD2.
Hey, I stand corrected.
What do you
It's
got?
College Station and Lufkin that play round 2. That's
What did you say?
I
You did
said
say that.
I said AM Consolidated. No.
No,
I
you
don't
said
know.
College Station.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
that's my bad. Okay,
Yeah, you
I
said
thought
College
I messed
Station.
that one up.
Yeah.
All these teams' names sound the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of them do.
Do you want to take a break before we jump into 5AD2, or you want to take a break after the
5AD2.
whole classifications?
We'll go 5AD2, then we'll take a quick break.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll jump into 5AD2, and what are the names that stand out to you guys right off the bat?
Sock and PNG.
Yeah.
Right. Those are your two back-to-back
Yep.
state finalists back to last 2 years. Right. That's the rematch.
Yep.
And of course, I think the big thing.
Look at Region 1, guys. Lovejoy, Anna, Argyle, Frisco, Emerson, Walnut Grove.
If you were guessing, who do you think I have coming out of Region 1?
Out of Region 1, I would probably say Argyle.
I got Argyle.
That's what I was gonna say. Sight unseen, I would say Argyle.
I got Argyle. So I took Argyle in that one. But before we move on to that, so I think the biggest thing that me and Jacob talked about all year was obviously the SOC and the PNG rivalry, right? The interesting fact is this year they're both in Region 2.
I know.
Yep.
So, and we're putting, a little ahead of ourselves here because PNG lost to, Nederland
Yes.
Yes.
2 weeks
In
ago?
the Mid-County Madness. Yep.
Right, 2 weeks ago. So now, after that loss, people kind of looked at PNG and kind of maybe, I don't know, wrote them off, but
They're
they
still good.
they're still very
really
good.
good.
They kind of quit talking about that game as much, right? And I think even the SOC people kind of quit talking about that game because SOC said, PNG's not the same PNG. They did lose a pretty good amount of kids last year to graduation, but I think if I'm looking at it right now, I think SOC would be the favorite to come out of Region 2.
I would say
But-
say that, but look at round 2, guys. That Huntsville team is good.
Yep.
That Huntsville team has a ball club. Look at I can't off the top of my head. They've played some tough opponents. If you look that up, Justin, I think that could absolutely be a trap game for South Oak Cliff.
It can be, and then if you follow it down a little bit further, you're going to have Texarkana, Texas High, and Needle-
Texas High Needle in round
Texas
1.
High. So Texas
Hello.
High is ranked number 3 in state, right?
Wow.
Nederland's unranked, but they knocked off the number 7 PNG Indians, who are sitting at 9-1.
That could
So
be-
Nederland's got the firepower to hang with the big boys, right?
Yeah.
If you're going off rankings,
Mhm.
that right there should be the round 1 matchup of the week.
Yeah,
Okay, and
no
then
doubt.
and then you're looking there. PNG would probably play that winner in the 3rd round between Texas High and Nederland.
Yeah,
Yep.
third
And the
round.
winner of that's more than likely going to grab SOC. But
SOC,
like
yeah.
you said, you can't count Huntsville out as well
That Huntsville
because
team.
they're a very solid program. But I took SOC ultimately winning that rematch over PNG. I think PNG will get by. I think they'll get by the winner of Nederland or Texas High. The coaching staff, what PNG's done the last couple of years is super impressive.
phenomenal.
His dad is the longtime coach at Katy. They turned that program from good to great very fast. And I'm not super tied in with Texas High, but if you look at them, they've got some really good wins on their side as well. So it's kind of a toss-up. If people know a little bit about Texas High, chime in.
Who's their
Right.
key win, you'd say, looking at it, Justin?
Well, they beat White House 51-10. White House is ranked, I believe, in state.
Really?
I thought they were
White House is the third.
the third out of that group.
Hang on, I can't make out that letter.
I just know White House is the home of,
No, it's a C. No,
They
they
beat
won it.
Midlothian Heritage
Yeah.
52-13.
it's just not been as good.
No, actually, yeah, they are the third place. It's ABCD.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they are the third place.
They
team in
beat
that
they
district.
beat Midlothian Heritage 51-13.
Yeah, White House is home with Patrick Mahomes. A little fun fact there, guys, if you didn't know that.
Yeah, and they've jumped up a class since he's been there because I think they were 4A back when he was in town.
Yeah.
So Texarkana, Texas High, there's not really like a big name on that list other than Midlothian Heritage maybe
Yeah.
that you would throw out there and say, hey, that's something you can hang your hat on. But they've beaten everybody and they've beaten them pretty well, except Marshall, 43-42. That was a close one for them.
Was that a district game?
They had a non-UIL opponent, 55-54 win. I don't know who it was.
Was that Marshall game, district game?
Yes, I believe so.
Ah,
Yeah, that's a
That makes
district.
Marshall
That's a
being
district game.
second out of that
Yeah,
district.
Marshall second.
that makes a difference.
That's a district game for sure. And then if you pop over to Region 3,
I didn't even pick anybody out of
Wide
Region two.
open, guys.
Region 3 is wide open. I think
Liberty Hill obviously
I think so. Well,
sticks out.
they're not.
'Cause
They're not the
Hill.
Liberty Hill the last couple of years.
Yeah.
They're kind of good. I'm not saying Liberty Hill's bad, but they're just not that Liberty
Yeah.
Hill team. I don't
I
think
tell
they're.
you what, too, guys. The Brenham Cubs are kind of like Corpus Christi Vets. Little uptick. Brenham has been on an absolute roll.
so Brenham's number 6 in state, 9-1. Their one loss came to Gilmer, 51-37. But they got a win over Huntsville, 39-35, week 1. They beat Belton, 42-24. Belton's a
Belton's a good team.
solid school.
Belton's got a tough matchup first round with Richmond Randall.
So Richmond Randall,
Yeah,
we
Richmond
kind of talked
Randall.
about them before the show
Raiders.
went live. They're averaging 442 yards per game and
Wow.
52 points a game. So they're lighting up the scoreboard. And I'm gonna let you say his name, Tyler Scribonic. Scribonic's the quarterback there. He's thrown for 1,200 yards, 15 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions. But their real bell cow on that offense is Landon William Callis, who's run for
That running back,
83 yards and 32 touchdowns. Those are the two main pieces of that offense. I think if you shut down, well, actually, they've got 5 wide receivers that they've thrown the ball to that have at least 500 yards receiving.
Gosh.
So Sean Smith and
Playing some
DeCorian
offense.
Rubin are their 2 top guys, number 6 and number 2. So those are guys you got to watch out for. So they're a very complete team. That Richmond
So,
Randall team.
so name alone, if you look at this thing across the board, Fort Bend Marshall, they've been in a very good program as of late, early 2010 or 2010s and on forward. They've been a really good program. A little bit of a downtick this year. They lost to, I believe it was Richmond Randall early in the year. They kind of got blown out. You're looking at them and Brenham, or I'm sorry, you're looking at Brenham and Richmond Randall round 3. Right, that's probably going to be a pretty good one. Brenham and Liberty Hill, round 2. That's going to be a good matchup. Liberty Hill, you never can count them out with that offense. They've overcame some great odds to beat teams that they might not should have, based off the offense they run. And then on the bottom side of that,
I see one that sticks out.
who do you see down there?
I could see a potential second round matchup between Bastrop and Waco University. That could be an interesting game.
Yep.
Bastrop's 8-2.
Okay.
And they have been playing very well. And both of their losses were to Plano Prestonwood, a private school, and China Spring, 27-24, and that was weeks 2 and 3. And since then, guys, they have beaten. They're scoring 67, 70, 47. They beat Liberty Hill. I didn't realize that, guys. Last game of the season beat Liberty Hill 35-31.
Okay.
So
There
the
you go.
Bastrop Bears are. So you got the Cubs and the Bears. They're kind of peaking. The 2 B Bears. Brenham Bears.
So I took Richmond Randall out of Region 3. I think they beat Brenham round 3, and then I think they are going to handle up on. If I were to think, I kind of like what you're coming with Bastrop. That's a pretty good one to put your head on. Fort Bend Marshall's always a good squad.
Yeah.
I think Richmond Randall's got a lot of fireworks though.
So Iowa Colony is another team that's coming out of. Their only losses to Randall. It was
Okay.
30-10 in like week 5. They've got 5 running backs that average at least 5.5 yards a carry.
5.
Yep, there's only 1 senior out of that bunch. That's a young team, so their quarterback.
Do they run like a slot T or an I or
No,
something?
so their quarterback, he's a sophomore. Carson White's thrown for 1,300 yards and 23 touchdowns,
Jeez, and they're running the ball.
and they're running the ball.
And
Wow.
the ranked
So
state.
you could
Okay.
look at them as a rematch, depending who's coming out of that top part of the bracket with Richmond Randall if they can get by that top half of the bracket.
Yep.
Or they could just be a contender that's going to be in that region semis there.
Yeah, they're gonna. I mean, they're number 8 in state, 1-loss team. I think them versus Bastrop would be a good matchup to represent the bottom half of Region 3.
People are definitely showing Iowa Colony some love in the comment section.
Are they? Yeah.
Yeah, Iowa Colony, they got good wins.
Yeah, and that's what
30-10 against Richmond Randall's pretty good. You're able to keep it within 20, right?
Yep.
Who Richmond Randall's averaging over probably 50 a game.
Yeah, see, I didn't dig into that, but I mean, just looking at their scores.
I mean, everybody that's played, Richmond Randall's given up 50 plus. Texas City gave it 45. Fort Bend Marshall gave it 45. Other than that, Richmond Foster gave up 35. But after that, 61, 62, 69, 58, 68, 73. Right, so that'd be a potential rematch right there with Iowa Colony and Richmond Randall. That's not a bad pick.
Well,
Bastrop and Iowa Colony, and then you're looking at Richmond Randall and Brenham to represent the 4 teams going into region finals. That's a good work. That's
So
a
Region
good
3 is
force.
actually very tough.
It
Region
is.
3's
And
tough.
You know what? And interesting, guys. Just looking at the 5 of the 6 folks at Dave Campbell's out of Region 3, 5 of the 6 actually picked Richmond Randall
Really?
Win it all.
to take the region, and 3 of the 6 took them to win state.
Okay.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, 2 picked South Oak Cliff, 1 picked P&G, and the other 3 all picked Richard Randall to win state.
Okay.
And then you jump down to our region, Region 4.
Yeah.
And I think the 2 clear-cut favorites out of Region 4 are Alamo Heights and Corpus Christi Miller.
Yes.
Yes.
That's my take.
Yep, absolutely.
And if I have to pick one, I don't want to get yelled at after a game, so I'm going to pick Miller.
Okay.
They will come
No,
find you.
I don't know. Michael Terry's everywhere. We've heard about Michael. It
He's
seems like we've been
unreal.
hearing about Michael Terry since
He's
he was a seventh
unreal.
grader.
Well, it's because we
Right.
have.
Yeah.
He's ultimately what's into GP's the season, the last 2 in a row. I mean, just unbelievably talented.
And he's got even more
receiver.
love this year with Terry Bussey from Timpson graduated, Mr. Texas football.
Oh, yeah.
So-
Yeah, unbelievable. He can throw the ball, he can catch the ball, he can kick the ball, he can do everything right. He's Mr.
does
Do
it
It
all.
All for Alamo Heights. Yeah, if you look at this region, like you got some names down there like Kerrville Tybee. They're not the same Kerrville Tybee
No.
that they've been in the past.
Nope.
Ed Calchalsa, Mission Vets, Bernie's another name down there that if I were to guess, I would think Bernie would come out the bottom side of that region for.
Bernie's playing very good football right now.
Yeah,
they're
they're
playing
peaking.
very good football.
They start off a little
Hank
iffy.
Hendricks is coming into his own this season. Of course, he started a little
They
slow.
moved up, didn't they, from 4A? Didn't they, that Bernie?
Were they 481 last year?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
they
they
were.
came out
You're
4-8.
right.
Hey, hats off to Ed Couch. Talk about a turnaround.
Dude, they've turned it around.
That was a program that used to be, you didn't want to play the Yellow
Mama
Jackets.
Kino.
Oh, hey,
Was-
I've seen them
we
play in the
scheduled those guys
playoffs.
every week.
And,
He's played Cal Allen.
yeah,
I've watched a few
yeah,
Cal
they're
Allen
always in the
playoff
playoffs.
games over
Yeah.
the years. Mm-hmm.
And Coach Godwin is down there. He's a former Yellow Jacket. Gave you a shout out, Coach. Follows the show. We message each other all the time. But he's turned it around down there, and I think he's a former player, so
That's
he knows
cool.
what it is to be part of the program and what
Yeah.
the standard is. So they're turning it around little by little. They had a very good season this year. Kind of stumbled out the gates last year,
Won that district.
but yeah, they won the district.
Yeah, they did.
So they're always going to be dangerous. But just like you said, Bernie's playing very good football right now. I can see them taking that bottom half of the bracket and then meeting up with the round 3 winner of Miller and Alamo Heights.
I think on the bottom side of this, I think the winner of GP and Victoria West this Friday is going to end up matching up with Bernie in round 3 to go play the winner of Alamo Heights and Miller
I think so.
for the region final.
Yeah.
I
I
can
think
see
so.
that.
I lean with Bernie to take that bottom half, right? Something about him. I'm not too sold on what Brownsville Pace has done this year.
No.
But I think the winner of Victoria West and GP is going to ultimately make it to the round 3 matchup with Bernie.
Agreed.
I'm worried about my Cats in this Victoria West game. We were talking
Me
that
too.
prior.
Me too.
I'm going to take the Cats, obviously. To
So you
win
guys that aren't
to win that
familiar,
game.
that Victoria West team is in that Alamo Heights district.
Yes.
With Bernie, with Kerrville Tybee.
Kerrville Tybee.
So they've had a very tough schedule
Yes, they
this
have.
year.
They
They're-
finished third.
They
and
got
they finished third. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
They finished third, so they're a very good team.
They only had 2 district losses, and of course that would have been Alamo Heights, and that would have
Alamo Heights
And
and
Bernie.
Bernie,
and
got
Bernie. So that was their 2 losses.
Yep. And
So-
yeah, that's a tough one right there.
Yeah, but like you said, if GP can get past that one,
Hey,
I
Sky's
think
the
it's
limit, man.
smooth sailing the round,
To
smooth sailing the round
So
3.
Cats have
It
really
is.
turned it around.
They're playing good football right now.
They're
They
playing good
said that-
football.
They
And they're
started
playing
a tough
physical.
non-district schedule, and then they had a great first half against.
hey, they gave
Corpus
Miller a
Christi.
half. I mean,
It's
it's just the pace.
Yeah, they got
The
outpaced.
pace got outpaced in the second
You've
half.
got Trevor
Yeah.
Long, quarterback from Mayo, who can throw a 60-yard wheel off his back foot.
Yeah,
He's a hard
he's-
cat to kind of keep in check.
I think the Corpus Christi Miller and Alamo Heights matchup round 3, and I don't want to get too far ahead, right, for Evans and them. I think that's the one that we should circle in on.
Yeah.
Catching that game. Ultimately, I'm gonna catch some flack on this one. I took Alamo Heights taking the region. I actually got Alamo Heights winning.
Dude, we're going to be working nights round 3.
Yeah, of course.
You've got 4 of the 6 taking Heights.
I got
to take the
Alamo
region.
Heights taking all the way to state finals. I think against Argyle, and I got Argyle
Really?
ultimately winning it all. Yeah, I like Michael Terry, man. I've seen him twice in person now. I think he's one of those dudes that can do it all, and I think he can pace your game enough. Now, the supporting cast around him, the last 2 years, I don't think was good enough to get him propel them to where they're at right now. But I think this year it's his senior year. They've had a really good time finding other playmakers, not just outside of Michael Terry, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people try to key on him, but that's the thing. He's playing in a 5A football. You're keying in on this guy, and he's still killing people,
I know.
Yep.
right?
I know.
And he's the number 1 athlete in the country for a reason. They can line him up in the backfield as a quarterback, and he can throw it. He's not just a gimmick, right? So that makes your life harder. Like a lot of guys like that, like Terry Bussey was the same way. Terry could throw the ball. Terry
Yeah.
was a quarterback first, then he turned receiver, with ultimately college level receiving and DB skills,
And he's
right?
carrying
Not
the
even
football for
quarterback,
you.
not even quarterback college DB, not even quarterback skills, right? Now you got a guy like Michael Terry who's got wide receiver and DB skills, and you can put him back there with quarterback level skills as well. You can't just say, oh, they're going to run out of it. They're going to run. No, he can throw the ball.
Yeah.
I've seen him do it, right? So that's just a little package right there that you got to like try to key in on, which makes him really hard to beat. Which is why I took Alamo Heights. I got that matchup against Richmond Randall for the state semis, and then the closest thing to us is San Antonio, so I'm gonna ride with Alamo Heights all the way to state, and there I took Argyle, but I think Michael Terry gets it done this year. I think he takes him to state.
Wow.
I didn't even pick one. I don't know why I didn't pick who my favorite was. I listed my
You
contenders.
just picked him right there.
No, well, yeah, I guess. I picked my contenders, which was Sauk, Nederland, P&G, Alamo Heights, and Miller as the potential favorites. I didn't even list Argyle on
So if you're really looking in on this playoff thing right there, the first two, Division I and Division II, I felt like the last couple of years in state, there's been just a drop off in the state finals matchups. But I feel like this year all the regions are pretty
balanced.
Pretty balanced.
Yeah.
Right? They're pretty balanced, and
Agreed.
it's creating a lot of really good matchups in round 2.
Yeah.
Round 3 even
Yep.
better, and then ultimately round 4 we're having really good matchups that you could almost even say, yeah, that's a state title matchup right there in itself.
Parity's
But-
a good thing, guys.
But the way the alignment folded this year has just, to me, right off the gate, it created some really tough regions. Whereas then we talked about Region 1 or Division 1 last year, Region 4 last couple of years kind of being a cakewalk. There was a lot of people that talked shit about Region 4 and 5AD1 last year.
Always.
It's a joke.
Yeah,
It
always.
was a joke. It's not even a matchup. Round 3 in Region 3 or round 4 in Region 3 was that's the game to go to state, and whatnot. And I feel like this year it's a lot more balanced across the board. So
And that's good for Texas high school football.
it's good for
Very
Texas
good.
high school
Yep.
football. It's good for the Texas high school football fan who maybe doesn't have a connection to these teams and just wants to see great football being
Yeah.
played, right?
And look what we saw with even the redistricting down here in the Corpus region. We saw teams that are kind of getting competitive.
Yeah, no.
Harold
it-
and Ray both made the playoffs this year. Both had good seasons.
yeah, they wouldn't have made it
absolutely.
like the years past. I think that
It
was
made more competitive districts, and King played well.
no, that was huge. That was
Yeah.
huge for the Coastal Bend. That district actually ended up being pretty fun.
It was.
Miller
very
was
wide
obviously the clear favorite to take that district. I thought Portland could have maybe played spoiler in there as well, but the way the season
Almost did.
kind of unfolded,
open for a half.
didn't look that way. But yeah, no, it created some really good potential matchups in district. We saw a lot of upsets in district across the state, Nederland being one of them. So yeah, no, it's matching up really well in these first two 5A brackets.
All right, with that, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about 4A. So, see you in a bit.
Hi, I'm Brian Williford, president and owner of Al Williford Chevrolet in Portland, where we've been family owned since 1984. One word that we love around here is community. We have a heart for the Coastal Bend, which is why we value people first. Whether you're in the market for a new Chevrolet or a quality pre-owned vehicle, our friendly sales professionals are eager to help. Remember, when you buy from us, we're not looking for a one-time sale. We look forward to building a relationship together for years to come. Thank you, and we invite you to join the Al Williford Chevrolet family. Hi, I'm Brian Williford, president and owner of Al Williford Chevrolet in Portland, where we've been family owned since 1984. One word that we love around here is community. We have a heart for the Coastal Bend, which is why we value people first. Whether you're in the market for a new Chevrolet or a quality pre-owned vehicle, our friendly sales professionals are eager to help. We also have an amazing full-line service department featuring genuine GM parts and accessories to keep your vehicle running and looking its best. Plus, for life's accidents, we have a fantastic collision center where we repair all makes and models and work with most insurance carriers. Remember, when you buy from us, we're not looking for a one-time sale. We look forward to building a relationship together for years to come. Thank you, and we invite you to join the Al Williford Chevrolet family.
We're back.
Hey guys, thanks for sticking around. We are back for our South Texas Football Unlimited Playoff Extravaganza. I think that's what we called it. I think the title is showing up wrong We had so we've been through this talk before. Restream always is changing stuff on us, right? So our last show that we did last week, they changed the home screen again, did the whole studio all weird. So we're having some technical difficulties logging everything in, and I think on some platforms the name for the show did not update. It's still like week 10. The World Series is going on. I think so. You're seeing that on X. I know that for sure. I'm not sure about YouTube. I didn't check YouTube what the title was on there, but we are correct on Facebook. So thanks for bearing with us. But would you expect anything more?
No, any chats that we should be aware of.
But Region 5 before we jump in, or
Region
5,
5.
not Region 5, but
5A.
5A before we
Frank
jump on.
Santana's saying Alice will upset GPR West in the second round.
Ooh, that's
Even
bold.
the Coyotes.
That's
good-
bold. He's
That is bold.
No,
this guy.
He's pounding the
Wow.
chest there
Yeah.
for a little
Oh,
eyes.
yeah.
Coyotes.
Well,
Send the
Sergio's
Sky
crying,
Dome
so-
out on a high.
Hey, but that is pretty cool, right? So last week was supposed to be the last home game for the Sky Dome, right? Because
Yep.
they're going to build. They got one more game. They're hosting a playoff game,
I
so they
love
got
it.
one more week of home games there.
That's awesome.
Dude, did you see? God, this is totally off the wall. They're actually setting up an auction site. Alice ISD is to start auctioning pieces of the stadium.
Really?
Yeah, so I guess raise. I don't know whether money's getting raised for, or whether it's an athletic
Wow.
program, or if it's the district. But I thought that was pretty neat.
What do you think the most valuable piece? What do you think the most valuable piece of that field will be?
The turf, right?
I would
think the
I
turf.
It's a top. It's a top in America. Didn't they say it was like the best grass
Yeah.
kept field in the
I would sell
nation?
chunks of that grass. You know,
I want to
that-
buy
that's
the
a-
whole A just so Sergio can't get a piece of it.
That's what they're selling it off for to buy Sergio a hot dog warmer.
I heard Sergio's actually going to resod his grass at his house with the
With the
old
Alice.
Alice field. He's going to keep it painted too.
You know what my favorite part of that stadium is, guys?
The
way
lights.
The lights, the way they designed it.
The lights are
Between
terrible. It was a
between
joke.
the 35 and the 35.
It's like a blackout.
Blackout. It's
It's the worst
crazy.
stadium for photography besides Orange.
I actually, one of the best games I played when I was in high school was we played Mission Eagles at Alice, round 2, and it was like a 12-7 ball game. It rained probably like, I'm not exaggerating, like probably 10 to 12 inches pre-game.
Ooh, holy
It
moly.
was, the field was holding water, right? They had to usher us underneath the visitor side bleachers because it's a hike to get back to the actual lockers. So you powwow before game underneath the stands once you've made that hike, and then at halftime you hike you all the way back and forth. But to keep us out of the rain after we got done with warm-ups and changing our uniforms is underneath the stands, and of course you had to go through all the Mission fans who were out of the stands underneath there huddling around. So you talk about like a hostile environment of walking through there, right? And probably one of the most memorable games I played. We called it the Mud Bowl when we talk about it. It was. I mean, I got pictures of it. The jerseys were just black almost, right? Very tough team, but that was in Alice. I thought that was one of my funner games I played in. I always liked, the thing about Alice was I always liked the stands in the end zones.
Yes.
I enjoyed that.
I love it.
They were one of the first teams around here that had what I would consider like the cool Minitron. They had the screen back then, right before everyone was getting screens, and obviously now it's been
That's right.
outclassed.
Now it's
And
outclassed.
then I
Yeah,
always
you're right.
loved that Alice, when they came out, they had the I think it was the 48 minutes to play sign that they all hopped up and slapped, kind of how
That's what I
Michigan
go by.
Michigan comes out and slaps their banner and whatnot. I always thought that was pretty cool. And of course, you had the Alice tradition, right? And
So much pride there.
and I like the press box. I always thought the press box was really cool about Alice Stadium. Now, sitting on the visitor side of Alice Stadium, not so cool.
No.
But it also, I think there was probably some home cooking in that as well. Take the fans out of it. You're sitting in a dark bleachers. It's hard to get behind your team, right?
I can
So
imagine playing on that field like that.
that's a tough.
We did it, probably one of the better games I was a part of. 2010 Flower Bluff. We played Alice, blocked a field goal, and they called us offside, so they got another shot, and they missed it, and it was to win the district. 'Cause
That was
we
icing the
count
kicker
out
before icing the kicker was
Wow.
Just jump offside.
I don't remember so much the field being dim.
That was
But if
amazing.
you're sitting
So
in,
dark.
the bleachers, it was dim. But on the field, it was very bright.
I've
Really?
covered games there, and I
Yeah.
turned around and I couldn't see parents in the stands.
You
So-
can't see the parents, but like if you're on the field, it works.
Fine. I
It's
guess that's all
fine.
that matters.
And I've never sat on the home
field.
side, so I can't
It's
say.
fine, but it also created another dynamic to it because it made the field seem brighter. I will say that playing on the turf was vibrant, and that side being dark made it seem like really, really bright for whatever reason. I do remember like the vivid memories of that, like it felt like it was brighter at some points. So I guess that was kind of
But I fully agree with what you're saying about those end zone stands.
That was
Man,
cool,
sick.
man.
Because those kids were always up for it, and they're giving you the biggest amount of mess when you.
Dude, I wish more schools would go to that, or would put the band in the end
Alice
zone.
would have their
That would
band
be
out there,
cool.
and they would be super loud.
Yeah, they would.
They were like an HBCU band. They just play as loud as they could and get you off your game.
I know we're trailing, but if I was Cal Allen, I'd throw my student section in the end zone, and I would every time try to force them visitors to have to go into that end zone in the fourth quarter. I'd figure out which way to do it
Cal
because
has an
they have a
amazing
huge student section,
Yeah,
right?
and they're rowdy.
They're
They're
rowdy.
rowdy. Very
GP
rowdy.
too. Those
GP
kids
is
are
okay. It's okay. Veterans Memorial has a pretty rowdy one too, but I always like the end zone stands for Alice. Always
Yeah,
neat.
that was just such a cool feature.
All right, so let's refocus, reconvene. Sorry, I led that kind
Memory-
of trail off to the
memory
side.
took us for a minute.
But so for a D1, Salina's the obvious favorite right off the gate, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's hard to say that they're not, right? And that's your neck of the woods,
Yeah,
Brian.
I saw them play on Friday against Lake Dallas.
So
I can't remember the quarterback's last name, but his first name is Bo something, and that kid can chunk the rock, man. And they've got this little running back that's and their line is huge. They're just so disciplined. Coach Bill Elliott does a phenomenal job there, and to me, they're a clear cut in the
48 points per game and allowing 13 and a half.
their,
So, I
their
mean, that's-
defense is nasty.
That's very good. But they're Region 2, right? So Region 1, I think two names stick out to me out of Region 1, and that's Lampasas and Stephenville.
Yes.
I think
Yes.
after that, it's everybody's playing for third.
Yeah.
Yep.
In that case, I think you're
Agreed.
going to see. I think you're going to see, and they're district rivals,
Yep.
right? So they're both coming out of District 4. Stephenville won it. Lampasas got second. It's always what they always say, right? It's always
Yep.
hard to beat the same team twice. I think we see
It
them in
is.
the region finals,
It
and I think
is.
I think the winner. I'm going to say Stephenville's going to come out of.
I got Stephenville winning that region, but I think it's
I do too.
interesting to note that Brownwood's going to match up with Lampasas in probably round 3.
Round 3.
That's a district matchup as well. Brownwood got third. Brownwood's having a good year.
They're one of those solid teams.
They're just a
always
solid squad.
solid
they played our Ingleside team down here. They
See what
kind of
the
gave it
regular
to
season
them.
was in that.
But no, I got Lampasas and Stephenville matching up again, and I got Stephenville winning that region. I actually think Stephenville will give Salina a pretty good game, man. I got Salina obviously in Region 2 taking that. I don't really see much.
That was a close one, 30-20. Lampasas over Brownwood.
Yeah, I don't really see much out of Region 2 that's going to slow down what Salina's bringing to the table.
Well, I don't know who that, and I don't know if they played anybody, Justin, but isn't Alvarado ranked third or fourth in state? And they're undefeated? That's,
Yeah, they are undefeated. They're the third-ranked team out of state.
maybe we ought to let me pull up who they've played.
See them.
I don't know anything about
Who are you
them.
asking about? I'm sorry.
Alvarado. Don't know anything
So they've
about
put
them.
up some good numbers. They put 71 to 50 over Glen Rose. Glen Rose is usually a pretty good
Solid team.
Yep.
79-13 over Waxahachie Life. 62-7 over River Oaks Castleberry. 42-7 over Kennedale. Kennedale's had some good years in the past. 55-42 over Waco Conley. Waco Conley's always had a pretty decent little team.
Beat Waco Robinson 47-21.
Yeah, so Alvarado's a good
Wow.
squad. But
So, well, in district, they haven't given up very many points. All their points that they've given up are out of district, right? So, Lake Worth, they gave up 7. Ranchview, they gave up 14. Glen Rose, they gave up 50. Connolly, they gave up 42. Robinson, they gave up 21. Van Alstyne, they gave up 32. And Godley, they gave up 21. In district, most points they gave up was 13.
yeah,
Wow. So that Alvarado team's going to be something to look at.
Yeah, absolutely.
that would be Salina's biggest threat. In that
Oh,
region.
no doubt.
And I think, like y'all are saying, the winner of that's taking Region 2, because that's probably going to be the final.
Yeah, and I think, I think it may be interesting for a little while, but I think Salina's just gonna.
Panther
If they
Creek's,
meet up.
Panther Creek's pretty good too. That's a Frisco school.
So Panther Creek is actually they made waves last year whenever they unveiled the new facilities. They're a
Yeah.
new school.
yeah, they're 9-1.
They're a new school.
Only losses
They
to Salina.
they made it to state last year, I believe, and they played Anna at state. I thought
Oh, wow.
You might be right. I can't remember.
because the big thing there was I think at Panther Creek was they had the best friends that were head coach in DC and the head coach at Panther Creek. I think, unless I'm getting it confused with Anna, but I thought that was Panther Creek, and they talked about the head coach. You know, he says his best friend deserves a head coaching job, but he don't want to lose him. Though he's a good DC. I thought it was Panther Creek, and I think Panther Creek made waves based on the facilities. They had like a basketball court that looked like a damn.
Panther Creek lost to they didn't make it to state.
Made it the game
They
before.
were 11
Semis?
and 2, so they played 13 games.
Well, here's what's interesting, guys.
So regional semis.
So it's either Anna or Panther Creek. I'm thinking.
I
about.
went to Sulphur Springs earlier this season, guys, and I saw Salina play Sulphur Springs and beat them like 31-6 on their home field for homecoming. I didn't realize last game of the year, Frisco Panther Creek went to Sulphur Springs and beat them 41-14. And
This year?
Yes, sir. Just happened last week. And Sulphur Springs was ranked 8th.
Okay,
Wow.
that's a nice little
So,
kicker.
yeah.
So you got Salina, Panther Creek.
And Alvarado.
So Panther Creek and Alvarado are going to match up round 2.
I see that.
Winner, that's more likely going to draw Sulphur Springs in round 3.
Yes.
And then you got a familiar name of Dallas Carter in there. They finished runner-up in their district. And then, of course, on the bottom side, I think it's Salina. And then the next, maybe Kennedale.
Maybe, that's
give
what I was about to say, maybe
give them
maybe
a
round 2.
little
maybe
competition.
Kennedale. Yeah. Aubrey's fair. Salina beat Aubrey pretty good in
I'd
district.
like to see Panther Creek and Salina in the region final.
That'd be fun.
That'd be a good one to see.
I think Alvarado's probably going to take that top half of Region 2 based off what they've done, but Salina, I think, is the clear-cut favorite. I got Salina actually winning state
Yeah,
on my
too.
page.
I
Me
think
too.
I do too.
That's
I mean,
another
it's hard
program
to.
that just puts out great athletes.
Yeah, it's hard.
We always see them around, especially down here around baseball and even basketball.
Well, you got Gunter as well, right? Just up the road from Salina,
Yeah.
and they're also a
About 20
favorite. I got them
minutes.
pegged in there later on, but they're also a favorite
Not
every
gonna
year.
lie, first time I saw Gunner, I was like, man, when did Goliad get stars on their logo? And they're like, no, from state, these are ours.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would get into confrontation at the state finals.
So now we've got Region 3, right? And it's
What a fun region.
Region 3's kind of open.
This is cheeky,
I
guys.
think, right? I think
Holy
it's kind of
moly.
open. So you got Kilgore, who's at the top of the bracket, who
Yep.
beat Carthage week 1, 20-15, and they beat Pleasant Grove 37-31 in double overtime. But they did lose to Gilmer 24-22 in week 3. They lost to Henderson 27-24 in week 6, and you got Tyler Chapel Hill.
Guys, you got
who finished
Lindale.
7-3 this year. Lindale's kind of a down season this year, for as far as Lindale's seasons
Standards,
go.
yeah.
Right, as far as they go, they finished 4th
Wow.
in that district.
So interestingly, I'm tied into this region pretty good because of my brother-in-law. So he lives in Lindale. Well, he lives in Mineola,
Okay, I know that's it.
County.
Through there.
but it's Lindale School District. So usually I didn't go this year. I usually do an East Texas tour,
Yeah.
right? And I usually catch Tyler Chapel Hill versus Pleasant Grove. Or last one we did it was the one we did was Lindale versus Gilmer at Lindale. Fun game. And we talked before the season started because he always starts throwing out the matchups. Hey, this is week 3, week 4, because that's about around the time my nephew has his birthday, and that's usually when we try to go up there, right? And he kept bringing up Kilgore. Everyone in that area was talking about Kilgore, right? Tyler Chapel Hill's a familiar name we always talk about as well.
Definitely.
Longview Pine Tree is being overlooked.
They are.
They are. I think so.
And they're a good
Longview Pine Tree is
team.
being very, very overlooked. Their only loss came to, I think, Kilgore. Check that for me.
I'm looking it up right
Look
now.
right now.
Well, he brought me up a pine tree.
And I believe it was close.
Kilgore beat Longview Pine Tree in week 5,
39-33.
17-6.
6.
Okay.
Their only loss.
So,
Beat Pleasant Grove 31-37 the week before. So Kilgore's played, and they played Carthage, and they played Gilmer, all in those first 5 weeks. Wow.
so I struggled when I picked this region because every time I just kept looking at it, and the big thing that kept coming in my head was Kilgore. Everyone in the East Texas area up there this year thinks this is Kilgore's year to win state. A lot of people are tapped in up there that thought Kilgore was going to do it. They had a lot of matchups. They had a lot of adversity come over. So I kept pinning it Longview, Pine Tree, and Kilgore. I wanted to really give that rematch to Pine Tree, but ultimately I couldn't get over what obviously the people that are tied in up there think. I took Kilgore to win this region. But I think you're going to see a Longview Pine Tree and Kilgore rematch, and I think it's going to be a damn good game in the region finals.
That is their only losses to Kilgore. by
It's
the
their
way.
only loss
Pine
was to
Tree.
Kilgore. Was Pine Tree. Now they don't have to me as quite of an impressive resume as Kilgore does,
No.
But-
They played Gilmer. Gilmer week 1. Van's a solid team.
Pine Tree beat Gilmore.
Yes, 22-15.
Van's a solid team.
30-36 they beat them.
Pine Tree also beat Tyler Chapel Hill.
And Todd Chapel Hill's a solid team. Longview Pine Tree is a good team. They very easily can win that region.
They sure could.
And it's hard to beat a team twice.
It is.
I took Kilgore in this one based off of what I was told at the beginning of the season, and I feel like Kilgore has lived up to that expectation so far. So I have Kilgore coming out of Region 3, but I do think Longview Pine Tree
You
and
wouldn't be
Kilgore.
surprised if you saw
Yeah.
Pine Tree come out.
Yes, I think
agree.
that's a team that maybe people don't really look at when you see like Lindell, Navasota.
Navasota's
Tyler
been
Chapel
coming down this
Hill.
year.
They've
haven't
been
they,
down
a
the
little
last
bit?
couple of years.
Yeah, they used to be a
Yep.
powerhouse.
I like to say that name.
Needville's in it.
Navasota.
Needville's in it. Needville's a
Needville
good
was
team.
good team.
Yeah, Needville.
Which is weird if
Needville-
they're in Region 3.
Yeah, oh yeah.
We're
That's
in
another
Region
one.
3.
I don't think Needville's got the
They're
stuff
usually
to
Region
make
two,
the
aren't they?
run.
They were in Cal Islands
Region
District
4.
a couple years ago. They're Region 4.
Oh, they're
Because
just
we always
four?
had it for baseball.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I haven't
so-
been to Needville in a long
Yeah, it's
time.
kind of wild that it's
Right on the way
realigned.
to
Right?
Houston.
Just did some weird stuff this year.
Right there by Sweeney.
But I've got Kilgore coming out of Region 3 as well. Some folks are saying Jack Yates out of Houston's making some noise again. We're going to see a repeat of that '88 championship from Houston Yates.
Every time I hear Houston Yates on, things slam dunk basketball.
Yeah, we'll see. Right, and then we jump into our region.
Hey,
region
hang on,
4.
is
Oh,
Vince
yeah.
Young's boy playing back at Houston Yates?
No. Vince Young's son's at a private school. It's the team that Rockport played week 4,
Houston Legacy.
maybe Legacy.
That's who it is.
Yeah.
There
Is
you
he
go.
quarterback?
Yeah.
I didn't know what he played. That when I asked the sports information guy,
Pretty sure.
he didn't know what he played, but he said the parents came back with pictures of Vince Young and stuff because he was at the game. And when Rockport played him.
Cool.
We didn't go.
But it was in Houston. We weren't. Gonna
Oh, yeah,
go
no, we're
there.
not
Yeah,
going
it was
to
in Houston. Next year, they should be coming here, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if he's a senior or not. We'll have to look that up. Anybody's in the chat?
Yeah.
Vince
Yeah,
Young.
that would be cool
What
to
class
know.
is Vince Young's son right now? Junior, sophomore, senior?
Let's take Vince Young to dinner.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's in the Corvette.
Yeah.
Well, I'll ride in the back.
Let's take him out for steak.
I'm down,
Doesn't
man.
he still own steakhouses?
I don't know if he owns it,
I
but he's
think
got
it's
the
just
name
the
rights.
name. He's got the name rights. He doesn't own it.
Oh,
It's-
okay.
yeah.
Did you ever eat there?
I did not. No.
I heard it was okay.
I heard it's alright. It's not
I
bad.
heard it was
It
fair.
looks
Yeah.
nice as
I
hell.
heard it was fair.
Yeah.
It looks nice as hell.
Yeah.
I'm a Maggie fan, but I was a Vince Young fan. I thought Vince Young was badass. I like walked
He
on
was.
water when he played football. He was one of my favorite people to
He was
watch. He was a
amazing.
dude. He was a dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So Region 4.
Yeah, our little region's fun here, guys.
Dude, this is.
I'm just
We
telling
talked
you.
about this
This is
before
gonna
the
be a
season.
tough
This is
one.
one of
This
the
is gonna
toughest.
be
This is the
fun.
toughest, I think, region in kind of pound for pound. I think across the state.
I don't know, dude. There's some really good regions out there.
Well, there is, but this is pretty good. It's a good one, right? And when we started the season, they had what in this region? That was 4 out of the top 10 teams were in Region 4, which is almost unheard of for Region
Yeah.
4,
Yeah.
right?
It's a homer coming out of me, but I think that our region has gained some respect this year, guys.
Hang on, I have to check this real quick.
This is a fun region.
Oh wow, Patrick's training on the board.
Saw that.
So Pat, we just got a text message from the Snack Hound, former Snack Hound guy. He's training on the board, and what do you know? There's snacks.
Flavor mixer gushers,
What?
hot dill pickle seeds,
And a C2.
some type of monster.
Yeah, is that a monster?
Not a
Yeah.
C4?
It's or C4.
I'm a C4 fanatic.
It's a
No, it's a
monster.
monster.
It's the juice ones because he likes sugar, obviously. This guy beat Ozempic, by the way. You guys,
I wasn't gonna say.
I didn't know if that was
it.
possible, but he beat Ozempic. Sorry, Pat.
It's fair to bring him up because he was the snack hound on the show.
Oh, he
at one
was,
point,
and
yeah.
ditched us, yeah. All right, so Region 4. You know, when I wrote this, I had LBJ as the favorite coming out of 4. But looking at the schedule,
I think a lot of people do.
I think so. I
They're
mean,
second ranked in the state.
and they're 10-0. They're moved down from 5A D2 back where they belong in 4A D1.
I mean, they're behind Salina, guys.
Because they bumped up last realignment, and now they're back down, right? They're playing against a bunch of Austin ISD schools.
Yeah.
They've allowed 17 points in district, 14 in one game. So the other 3, nothing, right? Austin Travis is the only team with a winning record. I think the best after that is 5-5 in that Austin ISD district.
Wow.
So not the strongest district. I think their signature win this year has been against Wimberley, which was 27-16
Yeah.
in week 3. But on the flip side of that coin, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing against these teams, these lesser opponents, right?
They're beating it.
They
beating
put
the team
85
on the
points up,
schedule.
85-0, the same week that Refugio put up 95 against Freer.
Against Freer.
So they're putting points up. They're scoring points. Ollie Scott's the quarterback's thrown for 2,000 yards, 30 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions.
Wow, it's a good ratio.
Running back Caleb Crenshaw's run for 1,252 yards, 19 touchdowns. They got 2 wide receivers, Lewis Hickman and Javarian Smith. Hickman's got 732 receiving yards, 11 touchdowns. Javarian Smith's got 602 and 9 touchdowns. So they're putting it up
Yeah,
offensively,
they
and
have
obviously they're
parity.
playing defense.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
So, do I still have them as the front runner? I think, my opinion, I think it's a coin toss between them and San Antonio Davenport.
I'll say,
I agree.
I owe San Antonio Davenport a apology because that's the 4th team, I think, from San Antonio that can make some noise in the playoffs.
But you were just talking about 5A.
Oh, you're
It-
talking 5A. I was
yeah,
gonna say
well,
something, I thought we were just talking 5A.
They are going to see LBJ round 3. And that's going to ultimately decide to me, the winner of Region 4.
They are ranked number 5 too, guys.
Yeah.
Top 5 team.
I think LBJ is going to be. I think you're going to be surprised at how good of a playoff run LBJ is going to have. I mean, maybe not surprised, but like, I think there's a lot of athleticism there. I think there's a lot to be said for what they've done, and they played who they have to play, and they took care of it in a pretty convincing fashion.
Well, I did see 2 guys that the TEP, he bucked the system with Step, Powers, Pickle, Ishmael Johnson, and Mallory. They all picked LBJ. The TEP picked Davenport to win the region.
See, I always like to see where Tep picked, right? Or where Tep picked and where Step picked, just to kind of see where their minds are thinking coming in
Yep,
these
Step,
places.
Boston, LBJ.
I'll give Tep credit, dude. He likes Region 4.
Yeah. So their
He
only
does.
loss was to Piper
Yeah.
in week 3,
42-7.
42-7. They're still putting up 446 yards of offense per game. Pretty balanced, 190 passing yards, 256 rushing yards. Their quarterback, Daniel, I think it's Sukop, the second that's on there too. Is thrown for 1,700 yards, 19 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. They got a couple running backs, actually one, Barrett Fallon, who's run for 1,400 yards, 19
Wow.
touchdowns, and Sukop has run for 614 yards and
Okay.
10 other touchdowns. So he's a dual threat quarterback.
Hey, Step, bucked the system, picked Kilgore to win state.
I know he did. I know he did.
Wow, okay.
And they got a wide receiver, Dante Singletary, 695 receiving yards, 9 touchdowns. So they're doing pretty well on offense.
Yeah.
We're gonna miss so many games round 3
I know.
just because of
Yeah.
working night shift.
We're gonna miss him anyways because we couldn't go to all of them.
No.
Yeah, but at least we would have had a choice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We could have made a choice and gone to one. But I think those two, like I said, I think those two are the classes of Region 4. Calhoun's not gonna go away quietly.
No.
No.
They've been playing some very good football the last few
They
weeks.
do this every year.
Say Port Lavaca could beat Davenport.
See, that's
know.
well, they said that last year, and that last year did not go in Port Lavaca's favor at all.
No.
No.
I think
2
it was
years
pretty
ago-
bad if I
The
remember right.
Safeguards they're a tough squad.
Hey, 2 years ago they were 3-7 and went round 4.
They were brand new.
Unreal.
Davenport was brand new as well back then. Yeah, no, I got so when I looked at this region, I obviously had LBJ coming out of this region. I think them and Davenport is going to be the matchup in round 3. I think you're going to see Bay City and Cal Allen
That's
in
what I'm
round,
saying.
in round 3.
55-20.
Round 3.
Davenport,
I want
Calhoun
to see
last
that.
year.
Bay City and Cabell.
I think you'll see Bay City and Cal Allen round
That'll be a
3. I
fun
think
game.
I got Bay City ultimately winning that game, and then I have LBJ beating Bay City to win the region, and then ultimately I have Kilgore beating LBJ to win this side of the bracket. So I have Kilgore and Salina matching up at state.
You know, if Cal Allen, if they do go that far and they can get by Bay City,
Yeah.
they're in the region finals, dude.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's there for the.
I mean,
for the picking,
It's there for
guys.
the taking. I think they very well could beat El Campo.
They got to get by Cal Campo.
I think they
obviously.
can beat Taylor and Somerset.
Oh,
Ta-
yeah.
that's Austin
Agreed.
Taylor, which is
Yeah.
not very good.
No,
Um,
they absolutely could go region 4.
Yeah.
I mean to round 4, guys.
Yep.
And that was the big question with Reeve coming in is how's he gonna take Cal on the next step? And
He might have his chance.
and what's wild, and then we've talked about this a lot, is that this isn't even his complete offense.
No.
He doesn't have the players that he needs to run the offense he wants to run.
He's
So
had injury issues. He's had players in and out of the squad.
He's basically gone from spread to power spread. That's a
Yeah.
power spread. It's almost like I'm seeing the old school Cal Allen offense, been out of the pistol and the shotgun.
So who do y'all have winning state in this division?
Salina.
I'm bucking the system.
Really? Who are you
Going
picking?
I'm
Kilgore.
going Kilgore.
Really?
Go with Step.
I'm going with Step. And,
Okay, Step.
honestly, I'm going to throw it out there now. I think it's going to be Salina and Kilgore, but I would not be shocked whatsoever if you see it being Stephenville and Kilgore in the state finals this year. When Stephenville gets hot, they get hot.
Yeah.
Is it me or does Stephenville seemed a little quiet this year? I haven't really heard a
They've
whole
just
lot.
been
They've
flying on the
been quiet.
radar ever since
They've been
they
quiet.
made that state run against Sock.
Because it was always Stephenville, China Spring. That was always kind of the big.
Hell yeah, it's always been a great matchup. They had like a barn burner 2 years ago.
Yeah.
In district.
Brandon was at that game.
I'm gonna ride the Step on this one. I'm gonna go with Kilgore. I like it. I
Okay.
talked myself into it after really looking at that region. But think about it, man. Pine Tree, Kilgore, LBJ,
You mentioned this. I'm going to bring this. Finish your thought. I'm going to throw something.
Pine Tree, Kilgore, Region 3, LBJ, Calum, Bay City, Region 4, Salina, Alvarado, Region 2. Great matchups. Possibly Sulphur Springs, and then Stephenville coming out the top side against probably Lampasas. More than likely, I think that one's maybe a little more forgiving and gives Stephenville an upper hand. But you're looking at think about these names: Stephenville, Salina, Kilgore, LBJ for your Final Four, and you can throw the names of Bay City in there, Cal Allen in there, Pine Tree in there, Alvarado, or even Panther Creek. I wouldn't go quietly with Panther Creek. I think Panther Creek may upset Alvarado. To
They
be
have
honest with you.
athletes.
I think
Panther
Panther
Creek
Creek may
has
upset
athletes.
Alvarado round 2, but
They
we'll
could.
see.
They have athletes.
But no, this is another 4AD1. Super
Wide open.
wide open,
Wide open.
very, very competitive regions.
Which for the neutrals, what you want.
Yeah.
Want to see.
You want to see good football.
games.
Yes.
Because just like you said, these state championship games have been snoozers.
Oh,
I mean,
my
seriously,
goodness.
There's
though,
been
like,
some good ones. There's been some good ones sprinkled in there, but for the most part,
it's been kind of.
they're sleepers.
I feel sorry for people that don't live in Texas when it comes to this time of the year. For real, like
Agree.
I bear with the weather. The weather sucks here.
Dude,
it's hot as hell here.
Dude, we have a
But
high
dude,
school
we have-
football show.
Yeah.
How many people are doing this in other states?
Exactly.
You're not doing this in Indiana.
You're not doing this in Indiana, no. What? 10-0 Hoosiers, right? Are they 10-0 right now? What are they?
10-0
8-0?
Hoosiers,
Yeah,
Dude.
they got by Michigan.
First
They
time
did.
in program history. Wow. I just thought it was interesting.
No, it is.
But
I'm
yeah,
back in the system.
yeah, talk about
Okay,
it, right?
all right.
NIL. We'll jump into Division II here, and man, I think we've got a lot to talk about here
Oh, boy.
for Division II,
Yeah.
right? I think right out the gate, I mean, Carthage is a favorite, maybe, right? You think Carthage is a favorite?
Carthage is, I think, for
Scott
most
Surratt
people.
gets beat, yeah.
I think most people would say Carthage would be the favorite, but their side's very, very hard.
Dude, it is.
It is.
But
La
on the top
Vega.
side is Graham.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so
Graham and Brock.
and Brock,
Graham
right?
and
So so Brock has jumped up a classification of 4AD2 from 3AD1. Who ruled this region?
Oh, yes.
In 3A,
In 3A.
essentially, right? And so now, I mean, I think they only have one loss this year, which
Yep.
was last week to Graham for the
Graham.
district
Got beat
championship,
pretty
and they got
good.
beat pretty good, 38-0.
Don't sleep on Glen Rose, though.
Don't sleep on Glen Rose.
I saw the game last year, guys. They played in Prosper. They were when they just couldn't the speed. They couldn't hang with Gilmer. Gilmer's speed was just it was like
Gilmer's-
70 to 42 or something.
It's
like
not.
that.
It's not fair. Gilmore's got they got legit 4.5s, 4.6s on that team. Like legit.
Oh, yes,
Not the hand time. Oh, my kid runs
No,
a
no,
4.7,
no.
4.6. No. So back up to 4.9. Okay.
You go Dan Campbell.
These are
Glen
with
Rose.
pads. With pads. 4.5, 4.6
Yeah.
is D1 athletes at,
Oh, yeah.
at 4A football.
at every
And-
position.
yes.
It's insane.
When I saw them play Lindale, that was my first time watching Gilmer play live. And me and my brother-in-law were both kind of drawn back like, whoa.
Yeah,
these
they
dudes
woed
got-
me. They
These
woed
dudes
me.
got some serious speed. Like, you think you've seen fast? Go up to East Texas and watch a football game. It's a track meet on,
Yeah.
on 100 yards. It's
They
crazy.
have absolute team speed. It's hard to say.
And the old monikers, right? Speed kills.
It does.
That's what killed Cal Allen. It's what kills Region 4 a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you see Region 3 pull Region 4's head off every now and then. Looking at the top side, though, I think Graham's the favorite coming out of it.
I would agree.
There's a lot of people actually in DFW that pick Graham to win it all. They think Graham will overcome Carthage.
And they're what, number 3, number 4?
Well, you know,
right now.
We'll talk about it a little bit. There's a team that Carthage has got to get past before they even get to the region finals.
Well, they got to get past. They got to get past Pleasant Grove.
Pleasant Grove.
And Pleasant Grove is
Yep.
the winner in their district. That's one of those deep East Texas rivalries. That game's going to sell out. That game's going to be probably 15,000 deep easily.
And guess who's sitting at number 9 that we haven't heard from since Carnell Thompson, the great Tardell Thompson retired? WOS, baby.
Yep, West
West
Orange
Orange Stark.
West
has
Orange Stark
had
is
an
back.
Absolutely
They lost last week.
comeback.
They are.
They
I
lost last
know,
week. They lost for the
but
district
this
championship
is-
last week.
They've been doing 2 and 8s, 3 and 7s.
Yeah.
Since Coach Thompson retired.
Wow.
Yeah, no, they're back. They're back to
He's
what
a second-year coach,
what
I
Woes
think?
has always been. Yeah, second or third year.
Second or third year coach. I mean, they're playing, guys. La Vega, the Pirates. I mean, they're always solid.
Yeah, so Region 3 is super stacked. Silsby's another name in there.
They're kind
Jasper,
of
too. Jasper's
after.
on that squad.
Belleville.
After
But if we're just going, if you're just going off of
You know?
like just
well,
name alone.
Silsby was mostly a basketball town
Yeah.
up until we had old boy pop up on the scene a couple years ago.
Yes.
So this was new for them. That success they had the last couple years. I can't even think of his name.
They finished
right now.
third in district.
What is his? He's at A&M. What's his name?
No,
he's at
not.
Colorado.
He's at Colorado.
Help me. Somebody chime in. Guys,
Was this
running
something-
back from Silsby last year.
Wasn't Darius?
Draylon
Miller.
Draylon Miller.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
but other
Draylon
until
Miller,
then,
yeah, I
they
forgot.
hadn't really done anything outside
He went to
basketball.
Colorado?
Yeah, he went to Colorado.
Draylon Miller?
Yep.
Didn't realize
Kicking
that.
with Coach
Don't worry, he's
Prime.
coming back.
Kicking with Coach Prime.
Wow.
He's coming
So,
back.
so
And
there's
Belleville went to state last year, guys.
I'm about to say Belleville is getting super overlooked.
Belleville, Hampshire Fannin, who beat West Orange Stark for the district championship last week.
Yes, he
And
did.
then West Orange Stark are the 3 teams that I have in Division III that any one of them I think could take the region.
Shoot, that's a tough district. You have that Hampshire, Fannett, Silsby, West Orange Stark, and Jasper. That's a tough little scheme.
Jasper's not a joke. Jasper's had some good
Those-
success.
they've
They got
some fast
Jasper's
kids
got
that
2
can move
D1 athletes on that field as well right
Yep.
now.
Really?
And West Columbia, we didn't even mention West Columbia.
Oh, yeah, we did.
That's another one in there. That's
Huh.
always.
Or Waco La Vega.
They're always tough.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's another powerhouse.
West Columbia says hello, Carson Cave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They send their regards, and then our guy Jay, he's in there, but he's got a tough draw around
He's
one.
fighting, dude.
Yeah,
he's fighting.
Yeah, Cyber, we're
Do it for the show.
we're hoping for you guys, but
Do it for us, Jay. Do it for us.
Hey, how do we skip Pleasant Grove, guys? And
we mentioned them. We mentioned
did?
that's who Carthage has got to get by
Okay.
before they even get to the region final. They
Which
meet
is
them in
more
the region
likely
semis.
going to be them and Gilmer.
And I just looked here and went, oh yeah, don't forget about the Van Vandals.
Yeah, Van's a good one.
They're always
So that's
tough.
an interesting district. You have Pleasant Grove, Gilmer, and Van. And that can go either 3 ways every year.
Yep.
A lot of
So-
times Gilmer comes out. This year was Pleasant
Yeah, I
Grove.
saw Gilmer and Van 2 years ago. They played there in Tyler, and the same thing, just like exact what they did to. Just blanked. Who Gilmer did to Glenrose, same thing to Van, the speed, the team speed. Van
Yeah,
did.
it's always one of the things with Gilmer.
Yeah.
So I think those are the 2 that are going to come out of region 2, either Pleasant Grove or Carthage.
Carthage. Yeah.
But I think since I've got them as my favorite to win, I think.
I got Carthage, dude. They have not forgotten about that loss to Gilmer last year. Scott Surratt's boy was the
Yep.
quarterback. I think he was a junior.
Yep, he's still
He
there.
fumbled the ball in overtime that ended the game.
Mm-hmm.
I got Carthage going to state and actually winning it. I got them beating Graham in the state
region
semis.
Semis.
And then I think y'all are gonna be a little shocked over here on my other side though.
All right,
What y'all got?
I'm excited to be shocked.
Man, I have sight unseen. You know, I'm gonna go with Belleville coming out of there, just based on what they've done this season, and what they've done in past seasons.
I'm struggling, guys. To
What do
make
you
me
got?
pick one.
Well, it's not a shock anymore because that's where I was.
Is that where
going.
you were going?
I have Belleville winning Region 3.
Yeah.
I got Belleville winning Region 3, and then I got Sinton winning Region 4.
So
So let's talk. Let's
well,
talk
let me
about
tell you-
Region 4.
Well, let me tell you 3 real quick. What I find
Okay.
interesting: 3 of the 6 at Dave Campbell's actually picks Hampshire Fannett to take the region.
I think they're the bougie pick. I think that's why. I
Is it?
think they're the
Because they
trendy
think,
pick
oh,
right
they've
now.
got the district title now. They're
You know, I
kinda
think
rolling
I
things up.
think that's why. That's my
Wasn't
my take.
Hampshire Fannett where
'Cause I really don't
That's
know
where
which
Phil
one.
started his
Phil
career.
started his career, right?
Yep.
Phil who?
Danner.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hampshire Fannett?
Yep.
We had a Hampshire Fannett
Wow.
helmet for a minute there.
Yeah, we
Because I know he
did.
coached at Dilly.
Yeah.
But I
Well,
didn't
did
Dude,
know-
our very first helmet was a If you see the helmet in the video on our intro, that's a Hampshire Fannett helmet.
Yeah, it is. That flat blue.
Rock on, dude. We are across the state, dude. No, I did not pick them. I got Belleville.
It's the trendy pick. That's why. That's what I think. I think Hampshire Finesse is the trendy pick right now. And then we'll jump into Region 4. So you've got Sinton winning the region. So you've got Wimberley,
I think Sentinel can take Wimberley this year.
who's always tough,
They're gonna do it. This is it.
right?
I
So
think it is.
So Wimberley's 8-2. Their losses are solid losses to LBJ and Lampasas.
Yep.
Sinton's 10-0. Cuero is kind of sneaking back there in the weeds right now.
Yep.
And Port Isabel, I think, will make some noise in Region 4 as well. They had a surprising loss to La Feria a couple weeks ago, but they lost to that very talented Brownsville St. Joseph team with 22 players on the roster.
No, I haven't seen them play.
Who've beaten everybody.
Yes.
I haven't seen them play in a while, guys. So you will have to catch me up on PI. I used to be on them pretty good.
Tough talking
They-
Tony, slot
Do
T.
they still run that
They run the
triple
slot
option?
T.
Slot T, triple
They
option.
run the
stuff?
slot T. Yep.
Wow.
Tony Berryall came back
I didn't realize that.
2-3 years ago,
Yeah.
I think, and it's
I-
kind of brought the program back
Okay,
to
I
what
didn't know
they're.
if they were spread down and all that.
Back to their roots,
wow,
but
that's the roots.
I think this is a very, it's not a very strong region
No,
for 482.
no.
I think there's some good matchups.
I think
that
that
you have in here?
Rockport Kingsville game, guys, could be interesting.
I think that's going to be a fun game.
I
Yeah.
do too. I
think that's
really
going to be a
do.
very fun game. And then out of that, Port Isabel, Ingleside. Port Isabel upset Ingleside a couple of years ago at Cabinets Field. Do you remember that one?
Yep.
Could be a repeat there. And then, but yeah, I don't see any favorite on this side other than Sinton.
I think Sinton's round 3 matchup with what I'm going to think Lago Vista's going to take it.
I would go with you.
I think Lago Vista and Sinton are going to match up round 3.
I agree.
I think you're going to see Cuero and Wimberley round 3 as well.
Agreed.
I got Wimberley over Cuero, of
Me too.
course, and then I got Sinton over Lago
Lago
Vista, and then
Vista.
I got Sinton over Wimberley this year.
Yep.
I think.
Yeah, I think they get over the hump.
I think this is the year they get over the hump. Now this is where
And does that show you-
Mike's going to be mad. But I got Belleville over Sinton, and I got Belleville Carthage playing for state, and I took Carthage.
That is going to be a very physical game.
Yeah.
That Belleville Sinton game. If that game happens, that is going to
That
be a
was
very physical game.
very, very physical
and I don't.
game.
I think both teams are going to be. Whoever comes out the win is going to be happy to come out semi-healthy of
Yeah.
that game.
That's
Because
the knife fight in the phone booth right there.
it is. It
Yeah.
is. It is.
Absolutely.
But
Hey,
Wimberley, we're talking down on Wimberley this year because they lost a couple games, but those are solid losses they have there.
They're a good
Oh,
team,
yeah.
dude.
They Cody Stover, who was their do-all last
he's a
year,
stud.
3-year starter.
Good
3-year start. He's thrown for
inspirations.
1,700 yards, 18 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. That's out of all the quarterbacks we've talked about, that's the highest touchdown
is a
to interception
runner.
ratio. He
He's
is a
not-
runner.
he's not a
He's run
polished
for
passer.
he's run
He's
for
got a
900.
state finals appearance as
He's
a
got a
sophomore.
state finals appearance. Not run for 935 yards and 18 more touchdowns. He's got a wide receiver. His favorite guy is Jace Morales, 590 receiving yards, 5 touchdowns. And he's got a running back that carries the ball alongside him that's run for another 400 yards.
I think also too, guys, you got to give 13 4-8 respect. Look at that, man. You've got Wimberley, you've got Lago Vista, and Geronimo Navarro all in the playoffs,
And Navarro's having a down
and
year.
they're all in
but
that same district.
Navarro's having
Yeah,
a down year.
That's right, and Salado. That's right.
Navarro's not the powerhouse that they were at previous times.
No.
But they're a team that if you don't play good, they can shock you.
Yeah, because they run the.
Sinton's usually had
they
their
run
number in the
nasty-
matchup.
They
Yeah.
run the
Last
nasty
couple years.
slot.
times.
Yep.
They run that
But-
slot T, and they like to run that fullback 35, 40 times a game. They got that kid they had last year when he graduated. That fullback they had was a bull from Navarro.
Yeah.
Yes.
But Sinton has had to battle some big fullbacks with Port Lawaka with Stevie Johnson.
Yes.
That guy was a stud, and that
Big kid.
might have been kind of what Port Lawaka had to struggle last
And
year.
Alice ran a little bit of that on them too, so they've seen that offense, and then Rockport, so they've seen a little bit of that.
Last time Sinton and Belleville played was 2009.
It's a long time ago.
That's been a while.
It's almost 20 years.
Many
Yeah.
moons.
It's almost 20
I
years.
think Rockport wins round 1, by the way.
I think so too. I think Rockport is playing really good football.
They are.
And I think they give Wimberley hell.
It's what you can hope for, right?
Their
what I
style,
think.
That's what you
their
hope for.
style will give them trouble.
And a side note, Jay went for 2 to beat Wimberley to go to the region or state semis in
Man,
Rockport.
that was a long time ago.
Wow.
They had the play dialed up. It was there. Kid hit the wrong hole,
No, kid slipped.
or he slipped, hitting the
The
hole.
lineman slipped. No, the lineman slipped. Missed
No,
the
I thought he hit. I thought the lineman made the block and the running back slipped as he was going into the hole.
I thought it was the lineman that slipped.
Either way, they had it dialed up. It's like 49 to 47 or 49 to 48, somewhere in there. I don't want to get crazy numbers. I know it was in the 40s. I think though.
Look at that. My buddy just texted right now. 2009 Sinton versus Belleville was a physical game.
Yep.
So they
Who won
played
that game?
in,
What was the score? Does he know?
The series is tied 1-1.
Who won?
So,
Who won in 09?
They don't say, but Sinton played Belleville in 01 and 08, that 08-09 season.
Mondo, if you're watching, who won? Look it up. Well, I guess we can.
Well,
look
then
it up,
01
right?
Sinton.
01 they won.
Sinton won.
I won.
08,
I was
08.
at
The
that
other one,
game.
right? Because Sinton went to state that year,
Sinton
right?
beat Belleville in Victoria. I was at that game.
At Memorial Stadium.
And Belleville had some stud middle linebacker
Really?
that was incredible. And Sinton,
But what I
Not by
think is
those
gonna really
guys.
dictate is where, if Rockport gets past Kingsville, and if Sinton meets them, where those games are. What's the weather?
Yeah.
Because we've seen it where teams have trouble sometimes with the weather throwing the ball. Look at CC Miller against PHA North 2 years ago.
Yeah, but that's region finals. That's a lot of hoops
Who knows
Rockport's
who
got
that's
to get
gonna
over to
be?
get through that.
yeah.
That's that.
I think he's just talking about Rockport versus Wimberley.
Yeah, I'm talking about Rockport Wimberley.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
if you
'cause
get-
that's what-
You get Wimberley out in the cold,
Second round.
Rockport running that ball might change a little bit of something.
Yeah, well, Wimberley's like we said, they're a run heavy team.
They're run heavy,
I mean,
man.
Stover, he's Mr. Do It All. He'll do it all.
And
by
he broke Sinton's back last year. If it was 3rd and 8, he got 8.5. If it was 4th and 4, he got 5.
That was-
I mean, it was like, come
That was
on,
the
man.
story of Miller PHA North. Miller having 3rd and 25, 27-yard toss every time.
It's just,
the
it's
funniest
so
thing to watch.
backbreaking, man,
Yeah.
to see that.
And it,
For a
that was
defense.
that was a great.
Oh, Belleville won.
Wimberley team.
So,
Belleville
yeah,
won
that's what y'all said, right? Because
Yeah.
Sinton won in 01.
45-35 in San Marcos,
Yeah.
Texas State.
All right, so
Wow.
who do you have for Wednesday State?
I have Carthage over Belleville. He's taking the Pirates.
I'm gonna take the Pirates to go to state,
Oh, I've got Carthage as well.
but I'm gonna take Carthage to win it until they're beat.
So other ways.
But I think Sinton,
Yeah.
I think Sinton can go to state this year, guys. I really
I think
do.
they have a shot.
They
They
do.
have a shot. That's one of the best shots they've had. in
They
a
have to
long
do
time.
one thing very well that they've struggled with. They need to get out of the gate offensively. That's
Yes.
the one thing that I've been seeing that's, they gotta get out
Yeah,
of the
because
gate.
when they were down to Rockport last
10-6.
week, they talked about it. They told us, and I told someone, I was like, it was like 10-6. I said, that game's going to end 34-10 Sinton. And they laughed, and they said, yeah, you're probably right about that. And I said, yeah, I know, they're a second half team.
Yeah,
Well, that's fine until you have to play teams
Yes.
that are really, really
Absolutely.
good. So, and I think when you get into a game, like, and even Lago Vista, like, you can't mess around with Lago Vista.
no.
But I think
No.
against Wimberley, for them to get over that hump, and if they want to get that,
They gotta
get
get
over
out
that
the
hump
gate,
to get to
man.
state, it's going to have to be 4 solid quarters of their best
Absolutely.
football. And I think Coach Troutman and them are up for that challenge, right? I think they definitely can do it. I think they'll get Derek's going to be back finally for the
He will be.
playoff run.
I hope it wasn't conservatism last week, guys, because if you look at the script of that game and you look at Sinton's game against Alice, same exact script. Came out second half, they opened the offense up, started throwing the football. Alice could not guard them, and last week Rockport could not guard them. So I don't know why they don't come out in that at first. Maybe because maybe they just want to see if they can ground and pound you, and if that don't
Sinton
work.
love, because Troutman loves to do the ground and pound.
He does. I love you,
Tristan
man.
Hansen loves to do it too.
He
He
likes to
does
pound
too.
you into submission, and I think it's a good I think it's a good work, and I think part of that has to do with if you can establish the run, then you can open up the pass, right? That's like that's what it is, and as soon as that run establishes, and you open up the pass, because like if you go back and watch when they played Cal Allen and me and Jacob were talking about it in that game, because it could have went a totally different route.
You're right.
They started pressing on the pass without that ground game really being opened up, and it allowed Cal Allen to get into some favorable matchups, and then you were forcing 3rd and longs, which
True.
was obvious
You're right.
passing situations for them.
Yeah.
Now I do think they need to lean more on Jacoby in the passing game if they're going to beat Wimberley, but I think they have to do it in the way that feels comfortable for them.
And they got their receiver back too, number 6. I can't
Jacoby
remember
what?
his name.
Jonah, Jacoby's friend.
Jacoby James. I love you, Matt Stipp, but it's Jacoby James,
Keep
not
calling
Jacoby
Jacoby Jones.
Not Jacoby Jones.
Jacoby Jones is of the Texans.
You've been calling him that in the
R.I.P.
pod. Love you
R.I.P.
though.
R.I.P. Yeah.
I listen to you every week.
But I think that wraps up 4AD2, right? So
Yeah.
I think we need a break here. We'll take a break and we'll be back with Division 3, or Classification 3.
Hi, I'm Brian Williford, president and owner of Al Williford Chevrolet in Portland, where we've been family owned since 1984. One word that we love around here is community. We have a heart for the coastal bend, which is why we value people first. Whether you're in the market for a new Chevrolet or a quality pre-owned vehicle, our friendly sales professionals are eager to help. We also have an amazing full-line service department featuring genuine GM parts and accessories to keep your vehicle running and looking its best. Plus, for life's accidents, we have a fantastic collision center where we repair all makes and models and work with most insurance carriers. Remember, when you buy from us, we're not looking for a one-time sale. We look forward to building a relationship together for years to come. Thank you, and we invite you to join the Al Williford Chevrolet family. Hi, I'm Brian Williford, president and owner of Al Williford Chevrolet in Portland, where we've been family owned since 1984. One word that we love around here is community. We have a heart for the coastal bend, which is why we value people first. Whether you're in the market for a new Chevrolet or a quality pre-owned vehicle, our friendly sales professionals are eager to help. Remember, when you buy from us, we're not looking for a one-time sale. We look forward to building a relationship together for years to come. Thank you, and we invite you to join the Al Williford Chevrolet family. Hi, I'm Brian Williford, president and owner of Al Williford Chevrolet in Portland, where we've been family owned since 1984. One word that we love around here is community. We have a heart for the coastal bend, which is why we value people first. Whether you're in the market for a new Chevrolet or a quality pre-owned vehicle, our friendly sales professionals are eager to help. We also have an amazing full-line service department featuring genuine GM parts and accessories to keep your vehicle running and looking its best. Plus, for life's accidents, we have a fantastic collision center where we repair all makes and models and work with most insurance carriers. Remember, when you buy from us, we're not looking for a one-time sale. We look forward to building a relationship together for years to come. Thank you, and we invite you to join the Al Williford Chevrolet family. Hi, I'm Brian Williford, president and owner of Al Williford Chevrolet in Portland, where we've been family owned since 1984. One word that we love around here is community. We have a heart for the coastal bend, which is why we value people first. Whether you're in the market for a new Chevrolet or a quality pre-owned vehicle, our friendly sales professionals are eager to help. Remember, when you buy from us, we're not looking for a one-time sale. We look forward to building a relationship together for years to come. Thank you, and we invite you to join the Al Williford Chevrolet family.
All right, guys, thanks for sticking around. We're pushing 9:15 right now. We're going on an hour and a half already. Wow. So that blew that time out of the water. But now we're here to talk about 3A, Class 3A, right? Division 1 and Division 2. We'll jump right in, man. Region 3A, or 3AD1, Region 1. This used to be Brock's region, right? But I think it's wide open right now.
Yeah.
I don't see none of these names here pop out to me.
Jim Ned's the obvious.
Jim Ned is
That's
the
the
obvious,
favorite.
right? But
Comanche a little bit.
Comanche, they've gotten better.
Shallow water.
But Vernon was very good back in the 80s and 90s.
Oh yeah, when they were 3A, they played Sinton, knocked Sinton out in the playoffs in '90.
Yeah, they were very good back then, but you haven't really heard much about them then.
I think it's shallow water, and I think it's Jim Ned are going to be the matchup for the region in Region 1. A lot of people actually have Jim Ned winning it all.
Really?
Yes. There are some people picking Jim Ned over Malakoff.
Really?
And then Jim Ned to win it all.
Interesting.
Yeah, some of the things I saw.
Now that you said that, I'm just curious.
So like I said, I don't have anybody out of Region 1. I just kind of was like, man, I don't see anybody that's really standing out here.
I got Jim Ned out of it. That's just me doing quick research on it.
Yeah. And then Region 2,
Yeah,
I mean, it's-
one guy picked, Greg Powers picked Jim Ned.
I think it's Malakoff's time. It's theirs to lose.
Yeah.
Right? I think they come in as the state champion.
They're sure liking Bushland, guys.
Really?
Yeah.
Out of Region 1?
Bushland and Shallow Water.
You said shallow water.
Yep.
Tep and Step both picked Bushland, and Pickle
Okay.
put
Wow.
Bushland.
So Malakoff's got the state longest win streak at 26 games right now. Defending state champs. They didn't have their complete stats for this team, but their quarterback Mike Jones in 5 weeks threw for 1,000 yards, ran for 240 with combined 18 touchdowns.
5 of the 6 picked
Who?
Malakoff.
Yeah, who? Mike Jones. right?
Yeah, they're loving some Malakoff.
Yeah, and like I said, I think it's theirs to lose, right? I mean, they're the defending champs. I mean, who do you think in this region here can knock them down, knock them out? Really?
I think Grandview could.
You know, there's an old one, guys. I don't know how great they've been because I hadn't looked them up. How's Liberty Alu doing? They've always been.
They're doing okay.
They've always been
They
one of
finished
those.
runner up, right, in their district to I think Jefferson maybe.
I can't tell if that's an 8 or a 6.
I think it was Jefferson. They finished runner up too. But I think out of anyone that's going to do it, it would be probably Grandview. Grandview's got the best chance to knock off Malakoff. I think that region. I don't think they do. I think Malakoff ends up taking it. I think they're going to be I think they beat Jim Ned. They'll go to state as well on that side.
Step says Jefferson. He's the only one that didn't take Malakoff.
They took Jefferson. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean Jefferson's got a pretty good chance there to do it.
But boy, they've
But
got two.
I think Grandview is going to be the guys that match up with Malakoff for that region, and I think Malakoff ultimately takes it. Actually, I'm sorry to go to the region finals. I think Malakoff takes that, and then probably on the backside, I wouldn't be shocked if you saw Liberty Ilu versus them. I think that's a pretty good team to bring.
Yeah,
up
that would
there.
be what, round 4?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
They have to play Mexia round 2. I don't know how good
Well,
Mexia
Mejia,
is this year.
Mejia's usually always.
Mejia. But I think it's Malakoff to lose in that region.
Yeah, I think so.
And if you look at Jefferson, you've got two oldies here, guys. Jefferson round 1, Mineola. Mineola is
Who's
always
won a title?
Yes. And if they go to round 2, you got Whitesboro,
Yep.
who's always
But
been
Grandview's
good.
going to beat Wattsboro.
No.
Yeah,
That's what
Agreed.
Tyrone Swoop School.
that's right. Yes.
He was 1-9 his senior year.
Yeah,
Still
and
got
still
pulled
got
back
recruited to
Texas.
Texas.
Wow.
Take that, scouts.
It was tough times back then. It was tough times
18
back then for the Horns.
Yeah.
All right, and then Region 3, which is probably the toughest region in 3A D1.
Hell yeah,
here.
it is.
Oh, baby.
It's
Yeah.
a murderer's row, right? You got Columbus, Hitchcock, Franklin, and then this up and comer Palestine Westwood. For you guys that don't remember, Palestine
Yes.
Westwood was the school that came up a few weeks ago for Spygate,
Yep.
right? Where they put their coach on administrative leave and a staff member on administrative leave for allegedly cheating, stealing signs, essentially, right? So
Videotaping it, correct?
yeah, something from the stands, from the visitor stands or something. But they're 10-0. So they're playing good football. And when we talked about them when this thing came up, they've progressively gotten better every year since that coach has been there.
Yes.
I think he got there in 2018, and they've won an additional win every year since they've been there until now. Until they're 10-0.
I mean, look at this, guys. Hitchcock. Yoakum. Don't sleep on Yoakum. They've been really trending this way towards the end of the season, you know?
Yeah,
Hallettsville.
they won't see. I mean, they could see Columbus in round 3. I mean, they could get to round 3.
The Yoakum very well could.
Round 2's going to be tough out of that first bracket.
Well, that's where Columbus runs into Palestine Westwood,
Yeah.
right? To see
Yeah.
if those guys are really good or not.
Yeah.
Right. But we know Columbus. We've seen Columbus. They're the real deal.
They're the
Columbus is
reason.
healthy going into that game. They're going to be tough out.
What's crazy is they have 2 D1 receivers without Grayson Rigdon.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a quarterback.
And a quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, really?
And a tight end.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
didn't know about a tight end.
Yeah.
It's his cousin.
Yeah. So Hitchcock,
Oh.
they've got 2 losses. Actually, they don't. They have 1. They lost to that Legacy Sports School of Sports and Science or something, 37-36 in week 1, who also beat Franklin 48-41 in week 5. Franklin's 8-2 with that loss to that Legacy School, and Salina 59-21 in week 4. And like we said earlier, Palestine Westwood is 10-0 with a potential matchup with Columbus in round 2. Right now, who do you think's got the easier path?
I think Columbus does.
So Franklin's going to meet Hitchcock if they keep winning in round 3.
I think Columbus.
Yes.
I'm going to take Columbus.
I think Columbus has the easier path on that one.
I take Columbus to win the region, guys.
I got Columbus winning the region as well. I think they rematch with Hitchcock in round 4, and I think they take it this time.
Hitchcock got pretty beat up in that Columbus game.
Yeah, they did.
They got beat up
Yeah.
pretty well, and I don't know if any of those kids have come back.
I don't either. I know they had what,
Franklin
2 or 3?
actually, don't sleep on Franklin. They could actually beat Hitchcock, and because Hitchcock lost their quarterback in that game
Well, guess
against
what?
Columbus
For the season, right?
for the season.
Yeah.
Guess what? That you said that. Guess who picks Guess who picked Franklin to win state?
Probably Tep. Step did.
He picked Jefferson and Franklin, Jefferson in Region 2, and then Franklin to win state.
Hey, Franklin's done it.
Franklin's been that
I
runner
think
up there
Columbus
by
has
a
the
lot,
firepower
at
to
least
kind of.
last
I
year.
mean, I think they can score at will.
Yeah.
You know, when you play a team
Franklin-
like Franklin, you got to worry about ball control and
Oh,
scoring
yeah.
when you got the ball.
They love
I think
to run it.
Columbus has the players that they can score at will.
Yeah.
When needed.
They have to force the pace because Franklin wants to slow you down
Yeah.
and just mash you.
Yeah, and I think their defense is gonna stack up enough to pull a few stops, 1 or 2 stops, if you see that potential matchup with Franklin.
Yes.
And this is 3A Division One, guys, so I'm assuming that tight end and those two wide receivers probably also play defense,
Yeah.
and they're probably
Well,
studs,
the defensive end and tight end does
Yeah.
for sure.
right?
Yeah.
So,
And Rigdon will slip in every
Yeah.
now and then in the secondary as well.
Yeah.
We saw him do that against Cuero.
I understand he can play corner, nickel, safety. You know,
Heck of a basketball player too.
Oh, yeah.
Grayson Rigdon.
Yes, he can
I had no
put up some
idea.
points, yep.
He's a dude.
Yeah, it was like 40 points a game in state.
Yeah.
Hey, I ran into a guy at an event up there who knows the family. He's got 2 kids.
I know he's got one.
He's got one.
He's got one that was born before the season started.
19 years old and has 2 kids. He showed me pictures.
Didn't see that one.
I was like,
we heard about the second one. Well, we heard about the other one before the season started.
Mark
Yeah.
had a good. Mark had a team.
Blake's got a guy.
Mark had a team.
So this one, like I said, Region 3 is going to be a knockout, drag-out fight.
Yep.
Every week you've got something going on there, so that's
Yeah.
going to be a good region. Region 4, I think this is Goliad or Edna.
It's
It's
Edna.
Edna.
And just watching, we've seen these two play. We
It's
saw them
Edna.
play. We made the road trip up to Cowboy Country, and we saw these guys play. Edna, I mean, it was a very unclean game. A lot of flags on both sides in that game.
Jimmy Mitchell is, former Sinton coach. Jimmy is he's a tough physical type of coach as well. So I could see how he could be.
I think it's gonna be Edna versus Lano in Region 4 for the
Ooh.
title.
I got a chance.
And I got
to catch
Edna
Lano.
coming. I got Edna coming out
They're
of
a
that one.
good ball club.
They are.
Wait,
They are a very good ball club.
Edna versus who?
Lano, huh?
Really?
Yep.
But hey, look at a good team right
Well,
now. Making the playoffs.
You look at this, guys.
Goliad's going to give Lano a fight. I mean, I think
Yeah.
we see a rematch. I think we see Goliad Edna.
Goliad's
again.
gonna have to
I
get
do
past
too.
Jordanton.
Yep.
Hey, this
Coach
is
Andrews getting it done, man.
Yeah, for
About
down a
flying
couple
above
of years.
hard.
Last couple of years were kind of.
I think Goliad gets past Jordanton, but I think Lano gets past Goliad.
You think so?
I think Edna gets past Lano.
You know, it also could be a fun matchup, just for the names that's happened in the past. Although I want CC London to win, guys. Rio Hondo and Hondo have played each other
Yeah.
in the playoffs. I think that would be kind of funny.
Yeah, that would be pretty good.
Be kind of cute to have the 2 Hondos.
Well, I'm going to pick my Air Force guys in that Hondo game. So
There you go.
I'm going to pick that one there. And who cares who they play after that?
Yeah.
That's
So I
where
got
Shaq went,
Columbus
right?
over
No, he
Edna.
went to Cole.
Shaq went to Cole.
So I got
right.
Columbus over Edna in the state semis, and I got Columbus over Malakoff at state.
I think Columbus
I
takes
guess
state.
Columbus winning.
I
I
think
got
they got.
Columbus over Malakoff.
I think they got the dogs. They've been tested.
I love it.
I think they got it, man.
I got Columbus over Malakoff.
Way to be believers.
But in that region, back to that, out of our local guys, I think San Diego Orange Grove should be a very good game. It
Yep.
should be fun.
Agreed.
Yes.
It should be a fun
very
game.
fun game. Doesn't San Diego have a
I've not
running back
heard of that
who's
game.
rushed for a bunch of yards?
What was that?
San Diego, don't they have a running back that's run?
Both of them do. Both of them have 1,000-yard rushers.
Okay.
San Diego does and Orange Grove does. I did not know this. When I was looking up their stats, Logan Rodriguez tore his knee
Didn't know that.
early in the season. Yeah, I was like, where are his stats? Yeah, so he hadn't played.
That's been quiet.
Yeah, it
Wow.
has been very quiet. So his brother is the one running the offense now.
Okay.
So there is another L. Rodriguez. It's Lyndon Rodriguez. I think
Wow.
is his name. So, yeah, so that was a disappointment because he put up some numbers last year.
Yep.
And then I messaged Coach Perkins. I'm like, hey, I'm looking at stats here, and I'm seeing that Landon only played half the season. He's like, yeah, he tore his knee early in the season.
Was he a senior?
So, yeah, he's a senior.
Oh, I hate that.
He's a good coach.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Yeah, so that should be a fun game. I think everything else is kind of, eesh.
Yeah.
Full cards.
Gonna be some sloppy football.
Yeah.
Some of these
bit.
teams.
Yeah. But man, we really blew through 3A D1.
Yeah, that's kind of.
3A D2 is gonna be the same way.
Yeah, 3A D2 is the
it
same
is.
way. So let's
It
jump into
is.
3A D2. We'll start off in Region 1. And we kind of talked about this a little bit off air, right? Region 1 was owned by Canadian for the
Yes,
longest time, right?
it
Canadian's
is.
kind of had a down year.
Yes.
This season, somebody's back in Region 1 that's ready to make some noise. They made a state run back in 13,
Wall.
I think, is Wall, the Wall Hawks.
Yeah, Wall Hawks.
And I, at the time when I lived in San Angelo at this time, so we were all watching that state game. I don't know how many kids go back and forth between Wall and San Angelo,
A lot.
kids that don't play and whatnot, because it's only 15 minutes away.
Yeah.
It's 15 minutes outside. They're both in Tom Green County.
I'm kind of rooting for guys. Again, they've been pretty solid. I think Andy Smith has done a
I was
fine
about to
job
say,
at Alpine.
Andy
Yep.
Smith at Alpine, man. I hope he turns some heads in that one.
Yes, and hey, he is actually from Giddings, where my mom is from.
Okay.
So actually, my one of my aunts, Aunt Maxine, my mom's younger sister, actually knows Andy.
That's cool.
So when he was at GP, I talked to him about my Aunt Maxine.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man, the Sigmunds, and yeah, he's done a heck of a job out there, man. Super proud of him. Good guy.
But I think I'm with you guys. I think I've got Wall coming out of
Yeah.
Region 1.
I actually got Canadian coming out.
Really? Yeah, I think I've got Wall taking them. And
I'm
get to the
I'm
Final
between
Four.
Wall and Canadian. I really don't know. Canadian has the pedigree, but Wall seems to be on a roll. I don't know, guys. I don't know, man.
I'm going with tried and true. I've got the Wildcats Canadian.
Like I said, it's been an off year for those guys, and an off year for them is winning 14 games, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's an
Yes,
off year for the
yes.
Wildcats.
It is.
Down in Region 2, got a familiar name there, couple Gunner.
Gunner.
Right,
Yep.
I think Gunner is the favorite. I think we can say Gunner's the favorite.
Oh, yeah,
3A
absolutely.
period, right?
For that,
Toller?
hands down.
Yeah.
Toller's always good. Toller's always solid.
But you,
Toller probably be the biggest competition for them.
That was kind of thinking.
Holiday and
Holiday.
Holiday's also
Holiday's, yeah.
also been ranked all year long as well in state. They won their district.
former Alice coach.
You'll
Kyle
probably see
Atwood there.
Holiday and Tolar match up to play
Kyle Atwood.
to
He
play
was coaching
Gunter.
Alice before
Oh, yeah.
Castillo got there. He took a Holiday job.
He's in Holiday. That's right. Okay. Remember that.
I got Gunter coming out of Region 2 though.
Me too.
I think they're just
Yeah,
the
I mean,
team.
it's like just like we said with Malakoff, it's theirs, right?
It's
Until
theirs.
you can prove otherwise.
And you guys know I only live like 25 minutes from Gunter, and I've actually gone to watch their coach and how he runs practice. It is like a Pete Carroll style, no standing around, everybody's moving. He is the general of that place. And you look at that team,
and it shows.
Yeah.
and you look on the sideline, it's like they all look the same. The linemen look the same as the rest. There's no big bulky, but they're a machine, man.
What was it, like 2 years ago? They had
They're
a
a
quarterback
machine.
that was like 5'6" and probably one of
Yeah.
the most impressive football players on the field.
It's incredible. The guys just knows how to run a program, man.
And then Region 3, you got a lot of familiar names. Newton
Familiar
being the
names.
number one, Dangerfield being another
Dangerfield.
one. And then you got some up-and-comers, Grand Saline and New Diana.
Yes, New Diana, man.
Those are two. New
Yes.
Diana's making a lot of noise.
They are.
That folks are saying, hey, watch out for these guys. Grand Saline's got their coach Joe Drennan, who won a state title at Mineola.
Yes.
So he knows what it takes to win, and obviously he's turning that Grand Saline team around as well.
Yes, I
And,
picked. I went with the. What did you call it earlier? The hipster pick.
Yeah.
I took New Diana in this one.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I took New Diana to win Region 3.
Now my son, guys, I don't know if he just moved to Montgomery in the Conroe, but he just moved from New Waverly. His company
Okay.
moved out. New
Waverly's made some
has got
noise.
some quarterback. I don't know his name, but they got a quarterback who's can chunk the stinking ball football.
They made noise in the past.
I don't know what their record is or anything like that, but I know he was telling me about they got a quarterback who can throw the football.
So they're 4-6.
Wow.
So they're 4-6, and they finished. New Waverly finished. They were last in the district.
Wow.
I think Newton and New Diana in round 3 is going to be a hell of a game.
Yeah, they got to get
New-
past
New
Dangerfield.
Diana's
They got to
gonna be
get
a
past
hell of a
Dangerfield
game.
first.
Didn't New Boston a few years ago make some noise? That name kind of rings a bell to me. No?
No, not that I remember.
Maybe you're confusing it with Old Boston. Maybe I don't know. No, it doesn't ring a bell to me either. I think out of this region, I mean, I don't know too much about Grand Saline and New Diana other than what I've read on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna go with the blue blood in that region. I'm gonna say Newton takes it.
Yep. Newton.
Let me
I got
see.
New Diana on
Yeah,
that
I
one.
got Newton.
Let me see what these guys.
Don't look at it. Don't look at it, Brian. Don't look at it.
Why not?
Don't let it sway you. That's why.
Oh, you're right in there, guys. They're all picking Newton and New Diana.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't go with tried and true. Tried and true and brand new, right?
Four of them picked New Diana and 2 picked Newton. Tet picked Newton. Him and Greg. So.
Hang on. Sorry.
So that takes you what, Region 4?
Yep.
Right off the bat, I took East Bernard to win this region.
So
I think EB does it.
So interesting development here, right? So you got Blanco, Jamie Dixon, a favorite of ours, right?
Yeah.
We love Coach Dixon. We're a good friend of the show. You've got Tidehaven, who's
Yeah.
always making noise, who just beat East Bernard last week.
Went to state last
They
year.
went to
Yeah,
state
went to
last
state
year.
last year.
Yeah.
No Joseph Dodds this year, right? But they have a lot of more playmakers coming back. Lexington's always dangerous.
Always good.
Poth has been almost a power
Poth
in the
Pirates.
region as of recently, right?
Yes. Lexington's in there.
The last two state finalists came from Region 4. Tidehaven last year, Poth the year before.
Lexington and Refugio had some battles back in the day too.
Yeah, they did.
I saw Lexington play last year when I went to Snows.
Yes, you
I
did.
saw them play against it was a bad team, but they have some athletes there.
Yeah.
Grass Field, by the way, Grass Field.
In Lexington?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I've driven by it many times.
Yeah, it's right off the highway.
I saw the game in San Antonio. I don't remember what year it was because Cal Allen played in the Dome on Saturday. They played an outdoor, and that's when they had that receiver, that stud receiver made that crazy one-handed catch.
That was Jordan.
No, he had that kind of Indian name. Remember that? Oh my goodness, the kid was an absolute stud.
I can't think.
Oh my goodness.
What year was that?
It's probably 13.
Oh, that was before I came back.
Before my time.
It wasn't Jordan
13,
Ortiz?
14, No, he was from Weimer.
Oh,
Oh,
Lance
that
Hawthorne.
was Lynx
Lynx
Hawthorne.
Lynx Hawthorne.
Yeah,
Yes, Lynx Hawthorne.
That's year they won state.
that's the year they won state. Yeah.
Against Cisco.
Probably had like an Indian name or something like that. Yeah, Lynx Hawthorne. Yes. Again, I saw them play Lexington at that, and it may have been Hero Stadium.
It was Heroes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Who do y'all have in this region?
Man,
It's a tough region.
I've got Poth.
Both.
I've got Poth coming out of it. So Major Luna is back. Last year he was going to be a sophomore quarterback last year. Had a bad offseason injury with his knee. Sat out the year last year. He's back. He's healthy. He's thrown for 2,600 yards.
Yep.
This year he's doing very well. I think it's Poth's turn this year. So I guess them are handing it back and forth between Tidehaven and themselves. But that's who I have coming out of the region. They'll probably see Lexington in the regional semis, and probably meet up with Tidehaven or Dilly. Dilly's playing very good football
Dilly is playing
right
good.
now.
really?
They came behind Poth. I mean, Poth handled them last week in the district championship. But that's a very deep district, Poth
It is a
district,
very
from top to
district.
bottom.
Yep.
So their fourth place team. Well, actually, they'll probably sweep our coastal Bend district this week.
Oh,
That's who they're playing first round.
Yeah.
But
We
I-
go to Owls.
That Poth Lexington game should be pretty exciting there in round 3 if that comes to fruition.
Yeah, for sure.
But an interesting game in this first bracket, this first round, is George West and
That's
Stockdale.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right, so we kind of talked about that off air a little bit.
Yeah.
So Stockdale's on the come up again right now. Sean Alvarez left Kennedy in the offseason, took the job at Stockdale. He's a George West guy, right? George West alum. So he's been up for the George West job a couple times. I don't know if he wants us saying that, but he's been up for the George West job a couple times. Had not gotten it, so I don't know if there's any old feelings or anything, but that's going to be an interesting matchup there, right?
Oh, that's-
The hometown boys.
George West's
coming-
been playing some
coming to
good
play.
football, though.
George West has been playing some very good football. So that's going to be an interesting matchup there.
What do you guys think of East Bernard?
I got them winning. I got them going to play New Diana. I got Gunter beating New Diana at state.
Well, it's interesting because the experts are split on the two teams you guys picked.
Between Gunter and Diana.
Three are going with Poth.
Oh,
Three
wow.
are going with East Bernard.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna say both just because I've seen what they've done. That loss last week that really surprised me. You know, because East Bernard was number 2 in the state
Yeah.
up until last week. I don't know how far they.
I think East Bernard's going to win that region,
You
dude.
think so?
Yeah.
We'll see. They got to
We'll
get.
see.
Back, they've got to.
Both round 2.
Yeah. No. Oh, it is round 2.
Yeah, it's round
We'll
two.
be able to make that one.
We could
Should we
make
circle
one.
that one?
Possibly.
Should we
Yep.
circle
East
that one?
Bernard and Poth, that would be fun.
So where would that be? Victoria, maybe?
I'm going to be in San Antonio.
It could be San Antonio. Yeah.
I'm going to be in San Antonio for
But-
baseball.
Or it could be in
So
San
guys,
Antonio.
I'm in the business. I have to be a homer. So if GP or Senton wins round 2, I got to go watch GP or Senton. But man, that
Oh, I
East,
thought you were saying free cars.
Yeah, I was like,
yeah, right.
Blake's leaving a Corvette.
That East Bernard. Oh my goodness, Poth would be. Oh
Yeah,
man,
that's gonna
that
be a
would
good one.
Fun.
So, man, I think that really sums up round 3. So y'all thought round 3 was or 3A was fast. We should wait till we
Yeah.
get to 2A.
Yeah, 2A's.
Yeah.
You're talking top 4 teams.
But
It's
who do you?
just-
So who do you have? Gunner Wednesday.
Gunner.
You have
Gunner
Gunner Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah, I do too. It's hard.
Gunner
to
over who?
New Diana.
Poth.
New Diana.
Yeah, I say
And
Poth.
you got Poth?
I think Poth's going all the way again this year.
Okay,
That's a good pick.
that's a good pick for sure.
All right, guys, we're going to take another break, and we'll be back to finish up the show with 2A. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Brian Williford, president and owner of Al Williford Chevrolet in Portland, where we've been family-owned since 1984. One word that we love around here is community. We have a heart for the Coastal Bend, which is why we value people first. Whether you're in the market for a new Chevrolet or a quality pre-owned vehicle, our friendly sales professionals are eager to help. Remember, when you buy from us, we're not looking for a one-time sale. We look forward to building a relationship together for years to come. Thank you, and we invite you to join the Al Williford Chevrolet family. Hi, I'm Brian Williford, president and owner of Al Williford Chevrolet in Portland, where we've been family-owned since 1984. One word that we love around here is community. We have a heart for the Coastal Bend, which is why we value people first. Whether you're in the market for a new Chevrolet or a quality pre-owned vehicle, our friendly sales professionals are eager to help. We also have an amazing full-line service department featuring genuine GM parts and accessories to keep your vehicle running and looking its best. Plus, for life's accidents, we have a fantastic collision center where we repair all makes and models and work with most insurance carriers. Remember, when you buy from us, we're not looking for a one-time sale. We look forward to building a relationship together for years to come. Thank you, and we invite you to join the Al Williford Chevrolet family.
All right, guys, we're back to round up the show. We're going to close it out here with Class 2A, Division 1 and Division 2. We're going to start with 2A D1, Region 1. Before we even start, who's your favorite to take the title?
Sunray.
Sunray, out of Region 1.
I would love Sunray and Armando Lujan, Mr. Texas football, setting records, throwing the football.
Sunray.
Charlatans.
And you,
Charlatans.
and you know that's Tepper's guy, Armando Lujan, the Dude's Rock Bowl. Yep. The Dude, he said he's going to go to the Dude Rock's dinner.
I'm going to go with the tried and true. I'm going with the Bobcats.
I got, man.
They are. I mean, they haven't got the coverage they have here in the past, like we have in the past.
No, it's been a
Right.
little quiet.
It's been very quiet, but
Very
they are
quiet.
putting up numbers, man. I mean, they are playing some very good football right now. We'll get to it
So-
the region when we talk about the region, but
So I would say-
that's who my favorite is right now.
I say you're three. I think you're three big dogs, Shaw. Because I've kept up a little bit more with them this year because of him. But I would say Sunray, Refugio. But there's a little outlying pick. That Stanford team. has
They're the number
played
one team in state right now.
Very well, very well. Stanford is number one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I printed it. I didn't get a chance to look at it.
Hawley got beat by Stanford 38-33 last week, which
Stanford's
dropped
number
Hawley
one.
down from number 2 to number 7. And it bumped up, and Stanford stayed number 1. So it was number 1 versus number 2 last week. And
Yeah.
Stanford handled Hawley pretty good. Hawley, last time Refugio played at state was against Hawley. They got blown
They got
out.
blown out. That was a bad one.
Yeah, you're right. Stanford's number 1, 10-0. Refugio's number 2, 9-1. Sunray 10-0 is 3, and Ganedo's 9-1, number 4. Wow.
And that one loss was to a very good Edna team.
Yes.
A very good Edna team. Early in the year.
Yeah, early
in the year at that.
Yes.
But I think we're in agreement on who's going to take Region 1, and that's Sunray. Right?
Well, we are in agreement on that.
Well,
I got
oh.
Sunray, but Stanford very well could easily take Region 1.
Well, they got Holly round 2.
Yep. So that's going to be
Stanford?
Sunray
No,
goes-
Sunray.
Sunray has Holly.
Sunray has Holly round
hell
2.
yeah.
Yep. So that again, another. That's a state final matchup right there.
Yeah, it is.
You know.
Yes.
And you see that a lot in 2A football.
Yep. And then you've got.
Wow.
I got Mildred taking Region 2.
So I'm gonna just tell y'all, Region 2. I don't know, guys.
I don't
know.
either.
I don't know.
I don't know a lot about Region 2, but
I
I'm
don't
just
know
kind of
anything
looking at it and like.
I
if
recognize
you go off
Mildred.
the rank, if you go off the ranking and whatnot, Mildred.
I recognize Mildred.
Mildred's overwhelmingly probably the best team out of Region 2.
Oh, that's
I don't
probably
want
what I
to
know.
put a lot of eggs in that basket because I'm going to be honest with you. I was looking over it kind of briefly. Wolf City maybe might
We
give them
got
a
a Coastal
run.
Bend connection there. Old Coach Smithy from Osos runs the show at Wolf City.
But Wolf City.
Okay.
Really?
Oh yeah, he does.
See, that's
Yeah,
right. He
what it was.
left.
He's been
Yeah.
doing really well up
Yeah.
the last years.
But I think Mildred comes out of Region 2. I'm not putting a lot of stock into that. I just kind of going off rankings and just kind of based off
Let me
what
throw
what
y'all a
else
little
looks in the
fun
region.
at this. They're actually Mildred, Tioga, and Hamilton are the 3 teams that Dave Campbell's picking.
Yeah, they're all over the board too.
They're everywhere.
And then you go to Region 3. I think Timpson in Region 3
It's not the
stands
same
out.
Timpson.
Well, they
though.
squeaked
Not
in.
Terry Bussey.
It's not
They
the same.
squeaked
It's
in.
not the same Timpson, but just gonna name Timpson's one that
Yeah.
sneaks out. But the big one is Honey Grove.
Honey Grove.
Well, I think what people are counting out right now is Wascom, the drop down from 3A.
Oh, that's right. I forgot they were.
Wascom
3A.
was a powerhouse in 3A. They've had a couple down
They
seasons
were.
the last couple of years, but they're 8-2 this year.
Yep,
I think people are kind of sleeping on them.
they are.
Well, Honey Grove.
I think Honey Grove and Wascom in round 3 is going to be the winner of that region.
Well, guess what? Pepper's the only one that picked Wasson. The other guys all picked Honey Grove.
Yeah,
So
I'm
you
gonna
guys
go
are-
with Wascom.
I picked Honey Grove
Just to
in
be
that
that
one.
guy. There's my
I-
hipster.
I-
There's my
I-
hipster
there's your
pick.
And I
Okay.
overlooked Wascom, so that's on me. But I'll stick with Honey Grove.
I didn't realize Wasson was that good. I would have said Honey Grove.
Well, like I said, they've been down in 3A the last couple of years. Like, not when I mean down, not doing very well. Something happened this year.
Well, they dropped down to 281.
Yeah, well, like
That
that
helps.
helps.
I
right?
guess maybe they were playing with almost 2A numbers. and
Playing
just
3A,
were
playing
3A ball.
yeah, could have been. Could have
And
been.
then you got obviously round Region 4. I think we can all agree that we're taking Refugio on that
Yes,
Yep.
but I will do tell you the matchup that I want to see, and it's because of their name. I've always followed the Mason Punchers.
You know they're redoing the Puncher Dome.
one. Yes.
Yes,
So have they not played any games at home?
I don't know.
Yeah.
they have not played a home
Well,
game
Mason's
this year.
ranked in
They have
state.
No,
Wow.
Mason's ranked in
I don't
state.
remember. I don't remember where they're playing. I think they're playing at some middle school field or something in Mason. Is what I
Wow.
think I heard.
There's like nothing out there.
No.
Like Mason, it's like Mason, and then San Angelo.
Yes.
And then Menard, and
Menard.
it's just kind of
and then you
it's
got
nothing.
what's that other little town? Robert Lee.
Robert Lee.
Yeah, Robert
the
Lee.
6A. That's a 6A. I used to actually work
6A
with a
football,
guy at
yeah.
Valero Three Rivers. Jimmy, I'm talking about you.
They play
He was the
6A.
training guy there at Three Rivers. He was an operator at Sitco and was there. He was actually the head coach at Robert Lee.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
I was
cool.
like, wow, what is?
Yeah, they play 6-man, man.
I think Mason and Refugio for Region 4 is going to be a hell of a matchup.
I would love to see
But
Mason.
don't sleep on
and
Ganado.
Refugio.
They knocked
no,
out Refugio last year.
No, and Ganado
Yeah.
is.
So Ganado, since they took that loss earlier in the season, they
Number
kind of
4.
you haven't heard anything about them
Yeah,
anymore,
no.
right? They still have a very solid team. I think Refugio's got that game circled
Oh, for sure.
again. You know, they were district foes last year and then lost. I mean, they handled them in the regular season and the playoffs. It was just the opposite,
Yes.
right? I mean, Ganado
Pick-
got those couple
Pickle wants
scores and then
Mason.
it just
Yeah, Mason.
Pick,
I think
pick
Mason's,
Mason,
I think Mason's
2
a fair
pick
pick.
Refugio, and 3 pick Ganado.
Oh, man.
So
I think Mason's a fair pick. I think Ganado's a fair pick. I think Refugio's a fair pick. I think it's wide open.
it is
And here's
wide
the other
open.
well. You got Crawford in Region 4.
Yes.
Crawford played Refugio for a state title a few years ago.
Yes.
I forgot about that.
You know, and so that
I forgot about
realignment,
that.
dude.
Yes.
San Saba was also Region.
San Saba,
was
they're in
also
Region 4.
Is also another.
They're
one
usually in
that's up
3, aren't they?
there. Yes.
Yep, because they went to state a couple years ago.
But yeah, well, San Saba was always ranked in the top 10.
Yep.
So San Saba Crawford could be an absolute banger.
Yep,
For
and then
sure.
with the winner of that one going around 2 against
Around 2
Ganado.
against Ganado.
Or Skidmore Time.
Region 4's not as easy.
Just had to throw that in, or Skidmore Time.
Region
Oh, by the
4
way.
Region 4's not as easy as it was in years past for Refugio.
And by the way,
No.
those 2 teams, congratulations. In round 3, you get Refugio.
Yeah, right? Hey, hey guys, after
The game I wanted to
Son.
see just for me was Holland versus Skidmore, because Skidmore's coach is now the AD at Holland.
oh, the one that was
Okay.
at Skidmore last year?
Yes, he
Oh.
left and is now at Holland.
So when-
And then
Matthews up
Marlin.
there.
You can't forget about Marlin
No.
in
Marlin's
Region
also-
4,
yeah.
who's also has not been in Region 4.
Yes.
So,
That's in the Waco area. I've got family from there.
yeah, so they were
Yeah.
always a Region 3 team. So this is just, this road is a little more difficult in Region 4 than it has in the past.
I got Sunray versus Refugio for state.
That'd be a cool game.
I want
That would be a
Sunray.
very cool
I'm
game.
picking Sunway and Refugio.
And I got Sunray winning it all.
Hey, if that happens, I want to go see Lujan play, man. All I do is hear about this guy. State records, beat Quintanilla's
Yeah.
records. I want to see this dude.
Wouldn't that be an awesome matchup?
That would be cool. I mean, that's definitely one nobody saw that coming.
Yep.
Right? I mean, that's one that you're never probably see again.
No.
Yeah.
Right. Sunray, there's a little refinery there too.
Is it really?
Yeah, there is one
Wow.
up there. Dumas, Sunray area, the whole little area. Yeah.
That's cool.
Interesting things.
Nice topic.
Yeah. Division 2.
Right. Last
Alright,
but not
so
least.
I'm kind of lost here in Division 2, I'm not going to lie. Outside of Mart,
So I'll give you the top 4, I think. Stratford out of Region 1. Munster
yes.
out of Region 2, Mart out of Region 3, and I think Shiner out of Region 4.
I could agree with that.
Hey, Stratford, I don't remember his name, but their quarterback leads them in rushing, passing, touchdowns, interceptions, and tackles. And he
That's about right
returns,
for 2AD.
and he
right?
returns punts and kicks. I don't know the kid's name.
So
Sunray played Stratford
That's
earlier
the only
in the year,
loss.
and that's when they lost.
Yep,
It was
that's
a
our only
close
loss
game.
was Stratford.
I cannot remember that kid's name.
I got
Unbelievable
Munster versus Mart for state in that game. In that.
Hey, Munster
division.
is playing good football.
They are,
Very good football.
and I ultimately got Mart winning it all. I think Mart comes back out.
I have not looked, guys. How has Albany been this year?
Albany's usually pretty good. They won their district. They won their district. I think, but I couldn't. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Albany is usually always good. That's one that sticks out.
Windthorst is another really good one out of Region 2.
Yeah.
Albany's 7-2, guys. They lost to Hawley and Stamford.
Okay.
First 2 games of the year.
Okay.
And has rolled everybody since.
Well, that could be your region 2.
That could be your Region 2 over Munster.
Wow.
I've seen
Munster's
Albany
had some good
State
wins
But
too. I think.
Windthorst isn't going to go quiet either.
No.
They've kind of been on my radar
No,
since
no, you're
that
right.
year. That
Munster lost to
we
Holiday
followed them.
49-35 and Pottsboro 32-27. And Pottsboro's a big 380.
So played up.
And they
Yeah.
moved, and they just moved down. Pottsboro was 4AD2.
See, and Munster kicked Windthorst's
I mean,
butt
382.
6-21.
Really?
Yes.
The reason why I know they were 2A D2 or D1 is because they would play Pottsboro and because they're the Cardinals. They would play
Yeah, they're the
Gunter.
Cardinal.
They would play
They're the
Gunter every year.
Yes, that's
was
what
a fun
kept
game.
bringing the Cardinals in the gun. That's always what kept.
It was always a good game.
It was. I got Mart winning it all.
I did too, and I got them meeting Shiner in the. In
I
the
got
region
them meeting
finals.
Shiner.
Oh yeah,
the
I
state
got Shiner.
semis.
Yeah, I've
State
got
semis.
Shiner. Region 3, guys. I'm other than Mart, I'm lost. I know
Yeah.
Bremond is usually pretty good, but they haven't been.
Bremont hasn't been the same in a while.
No.
Yeah.
Region 4, Burton had a few good years. I've got
Yes.
family near Burton. I don't think they've kind of fell off.
282 is pretty like cut and dry,
Yeah.
right? You have your big names, and then like every now and then you have a team like Bremont pop in. They're okay,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, they're all picking Shiner to win Region 4.
Wow.
You have some fun matchups here. I mean, Ben Bolt, Yorktown should be pretty fun. Falls City, Agua Dulce. Agua Dulce on a 2-game losing streak right now.
Yeah.
That should be a pretty good. That should be a fun game. Where is that being played?
Don't catch me.
I saw a thing for it. I can't remember.
Hey, who did we say in Region 1? Who did you all pick?
I don't think we did.
We did? We didn't. I didn't
No,
think
I
so.
didn't.
Because they are. I was going to say Wink.
I picked.
You picked
I
Stratford,
picked
right?
Stratford.
I was going to say Wink. I'd heard of.
Groover could make some.
Iran's
Well,
all.
guess look
Iran's
at
been
here.
around.
They 5 of the 6 picked
Pick
Groover, and
Yeah.
one picked and Tep picked Wink. Nobody sticks Stratford. Wow.
Wow, the last time Agua Dulce and Falls City met, Falls City,
That was probably
lost
pretty bad.
54-0.
Falls City lost.
Or Agua Dulce lost.
I was gonna say yeah. Well, that's
54-0.
probably pretty bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
They swept Munster except one. Greg Powers picked Albany in Region 2. So actually, Greg picked Bremond in Region 3. Step picked Lovelady. I remember Lovelady.
See, I had Love Lady written down here, but again, at the point when I was doing all my research, I just stopped. I was like, okay, I've done enough. This
Got
is
two
my notes
Shiners.
for 2A. I'm sorry, 2A.
Yeah, it's.
2 Shiners, 2 Munsters, and 1 Groover for state.
That sounds like a good night, good Friday night.
Yeah.
2 Shiners,
Yeah.
you know,
And a Munster sandwich,
and a
cheese sandwich.
Munster cheese sandwich. To wash it down with the 2 Shiners. Oh man, y'all got anything else before
No.
we go? We're gonna end it here.
Yeah.
We picked an hour and a half, and we're pushing
2.
Two. Yeah, well, I think we just hit 2 hours. Yeah, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, for those of you who
times.
stayed in for the whole 2 hours, we
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. It's been fun. We like doing these in-person shows. Thank you again, Brian, for allowing us to come out here
Absolutely,
and set up.
guys.
Like I said, take over your showroom for a little bit.
So much
I'm
fun.
going to take a picture from this view so you can see what it looks like.
Yeah, please.
So you can actually
Give one
see
Blake.
what we do when we come over to this dealership. Again, guys, if you're in the market for a new or used vehicle, come see our guys here.
Thank you.
Maybe you can
So
come
we're
get
here
this
for.
guy back here and take
Yeah.
him for a ride.
Yeah.
Please.
But, yeah,
It's fun.
you got anything before we go?
No, man, it was a good show.
Yeah, we got a
Yes,
workshop
thank you.
morning, so we're gonna end this. Blake, thank you for everything.
Yes,
Blake's,
Blake, thank
Blake's
you.
the MVP of this whole thing.
Oh, he is, man.
Right here.
I can't even imagine how all that connects, and so
either.
I don't even want to know.
I don't
'Cause
know.
all it does, I see that and it makes all my anxiety go crazy.
Oh, I
So
bet, all the wires.
I'm not electrical. I just don't understand.
I don't look down at it. I just,
It's like a cliff. You just look
like, no,
out.
it's not there.
But guys, thank you again for tuning in. We will be back next week with a regular show.
Regular show.
Probably a regular show Tuesday night. We'll discuss the happenings of round one, see who we got left throughout the regions. And we'll go
Wonderful.
from there. We got to figure out when we're going to do another live show, maybe before state championship week or something.
That'd be good.
We'll come back in and set up and then work that way. So you've got a place
Well,
in your house for
Region
us, right?
finals. Region
Yes.
finals.
See,
is
did you hear
cool.
that? He's got a place for us.
Yeah.
There we go.
State championship week. I think we're off that week.
Yeah, I think we are. Too.
Most of it. Most of it we are. I think we missed the 2A games and
I
the
will,
6-man
I will
games.
be there on the 20th
You're
on that
going, huh?
Friday, especially if Sinton makes it.
If we can swing it, we do a live show from Jerry World.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be cool. I don't know if we could
That
swing it, but that would be cool. If not, we can do it from Brian's basement.
I don't have a basement. But we could figure something out. We could figure something
Do it from
out.
Salina's weight room.
Yeah, or something, right?
Well, that would be cool.
You know, one of the things that
From
Brian brought
high
up that
school
we
field.
did not talk about on the show, and then now that you say that, was Melissa not making the playoffs this year.
No.
We did not mention that, did
No,
we?
we did not.
No.
And we're not gonna start. We just mentioned it now. There it was,
Yeah.
because we'll be here another 30 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Prosper Walnut Grove, everybody. First year in UIL because they played Outlaw last year, going to the playoffs. Pretty
That's
crazy.
crazy.
9-1. Only loss was to Anna.
Well, that's,
And a
that's a
close
good
one.
season. That's a good loss too.
Very
Yeah.
nice. Guys, again, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
Take care.